Second Cup, sponsored by Public Espresso and Coffee.
Good morning to you. It's 8 o'clock on the start of your Monday morning. Thank you so much for being with us for Second Cup. We're just waiting for our engineers to put the studio camera into the live stream. So if you're wondering why in the world we are on a laptop computer right now, this is why.
The good news is you can see the snow right behind me.
Yeah.
So perhaps it's very apropos, Edward.
Why don't you join us on the other side here so we can actually see you?
Okay, sorry.
We are trying to figure out what the future looks like as we move through today and go into tomorrow and the rest of the day.
Same right here.
Right there.
So people can see you.
Okay.
There you go. See?
Okay.
And look at Ed's computer.
Oh, much better. All right, sorry. You're apparently.
Let me just walk you
I'm
through
not the
this.
only one confused. Yeah, okay. Good.
Aaron is here. Let's talk with him. What can we expect to see, Aaron, as we move into the next couple hours?
All right, so that lake band is basically over Buffalo, South Buffalo, Lancaster, toward Cheektowaga, West Seneca right now. It's been rather stationary the last 2 hours or so. It's going to stay that way for another hour and then start to push further northward, settling into North Buffalo and the northern suburbs late this morning and into this afternoon. In the band, another 2 to perhaps even 6 inches of accumulation, especially closer to lakeshore as the winds are much lighter, so the band is not being pushed as far inland as it was yesterday.
Okay, so we also know that there is a lot to talk about when it comes to the roads. So all of the travel bans have been lifted except for Lacana and Cheektowagas, which will be lifted at 9 a.m. So let's bring in our esteemed Department of Public Works Commissioner Nate Martin, who's here with us this morning. Nate, glad you're with us to start the day. I know you're out on the roads. You're joining us, keeping yourself safe, obviously, just kind of taking your audio here. Walk us through what you're seeing out there on the roads and what we can expect today.
Yeah, thanks. Can you hear me okay first off, eh?
Can you hear Nate?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Okay, there we go. Yeah, we
we
can hear you. Okay, so walk us through what we can expect today, Nate, if you wouldn't mind. I'm going to plug in here for the people who are watching and like, what the heck is he doing? I'm just plugging my earpiece in. So, okay, let's hear it, Nate. What's going on?
I appreciate that. Well, first of all, thanks for that nice introduction.
Yeah.
No need for that today. I'm just one of a whole bunch of people trying to, make sure we're doing what we can for the community here. So, we've been out all parts of the city throughout the night, but certainly focused on South Buffalo, Kaisertown, the southern part of the city where that band, as you just talked about, has not moved. So we've been bouncing around all day or all morning so far. It feels like a day already since the early hours of the AM. I've been out and about. Our team's been out and about. I'm actually on South Park now, just approaching Tesla. That snow is falling pretty solidly right here. Not a white out, I would say, but definitely some heavy snow. So, we've been prepping, or kind of clearing and getting roads ready to handle all the snow as that band moves up. So we've got capacity in most of the city, the majority of the city, to handle this snow as it moves up. Because that band has not moved, we've got a lot of focus in the southern part of the city with a lot of equipment moving, plowing, removing. So we've got loaders and dump trucks hauling snow away. We're hitting streets. That snow comes down so hard it doesn't look like we hit it a couple hours later. My deputy commissioner lives down in South Buffalo, and he cleared, I think, his car at 4 a.m. For his wife, and she came out at 7 a.m. and she actually had to ask him if he'd cleaned the car for her. So,
oh my gosh!
So it's coming down pretty solid. We're working it hard. We've got a lot of equipment down here. The ban is lifted, as you said, but that doesn't mean it's free flowing travel. That doesn't mean go as fast as you normally would. There's a caution and a carefulness which we want every motorist to use today when you're out and about.
Nate, I know that the police were out overnight enforcing that travel ban. Can you talk us through that?
I can tell you from experience, Nate, they were out enforcing that travel ban.
Why do you think? Guessing got pulled over on his way to work today.
All right. Well,
but they were looking for people who were possibly violating the ban. Do you have any information on how many tickets were given out or how that operation actually went? Because it seemed like they were really enforcing it.
Yeah, so I don't have the exact number. I know when we did the press conference yesterday with the mayor, I think the number I heard midday was 164. And I don't necessarily want to get hung up on the number. I don't think that's the important thing. I think what we were really trying to emphasize is, please, people, I know it may look good, but every time you're out, it can affect, the city of Buffalo plows, our private contractors, even other municipalities are facing this. The more traffic by everybody else, the harder it is for us to do the work of clearing quickly and effectively. So I know the effort was, through our messaging. We did a lot of messaging pre-event about that ban. As soon as that ban was announced, across the board, city, county, state, we all talked about it. And we had great cooperation. We had some of those people who took it upon themselves to be a little bit out and about. Unfortunately, I think that, so it was really, I think from my perspective, help us help you. So the more you can stay off the roads, the more we can do our work. So.
Hey, Nate, let me ask you this as we go to the other camera here. So let's switch gears here. Thank you very much to our engineers who got this going for us. Nate, let me ask you this. As we go through the day-to-day, we know that Lacana still has that driving ban. So what is your conversation with the folks from Lacana to really stop the drivers from Buffalo going south?
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be a coordinated effort. So, from our perspective, DPW, we're focused on the clearing. So our communication with, the county commissioner and his team is ongoing. So we're cooperatively working through that conversation. I'd have to defer to Commissioner Gramalia and how he's, working necessarily with the law enforcement down there, either in the county or in Lackawanna to see how they're handling that. I just don't know the specifics of it. I know the messaging is there, right? So if you have to go out, please use caution. And if you're in an area with a ban, it is a ban. Please do not go out on the roads.
Can I ask you to? Sorry, Nate. Now we've got this snow event right now. Now we know this week we're going to get another snow event. So are you guys already eyes out a few more days, because we're already talking about kids will be going back to school, and we know this next snow event is come tomorrow.
Yeah. Yes. So we're looking ahead all the time. So we're prepping for that. I just left our garage a little bit ago. I know we've got tractor trailers with the salt being delivered throughout the day today to supplement the salt pile that's in our facility there. We've got plenty of salt over at our other storage site, but we've been using that as well to support all the efforts. So we're definitely preparing from a material standpoint. We're looking at our crews. We're looking at the possibility of extra help again with private contractors. We'll have those conversations with our friends and partners at the county. Again, Commissioner Gary and I, we're back and forth all the time on things. So we're definitely looking ahead to it and what that might bring. Some lake effect snow for sure. So we've got to be prepared. And even today, we've got to be prepared as this band moves where it is now. And I sense maybe it's even just moving slowly right now. I pulled off to the side of the road out here on South Park, and it just picked up a little bit where I'm at. So I think we're getting a little bit of a shift. So we've got to prepare and meet that as it moves into the city to be ready for the Sabres game at noon. And certainly as the travel picks up to as you referenced, to go to the game a little bit later today.
Well, Nate, I want to bring in Aaron. If you would just stand by. Is my microphone is not on for whatever reason. But I want to bring in Aaron.
You can talk about it.
So he can give us an update about where this band actually is.
Okay, right now the band.
Can you imagine? Here we are. Nothing works.
South Buffalo, the metro area, stretching over toward West Seneca, Cheektowaga, Lackawanna, once again, is where that band is. It's not as intense as it was yesterday, but it's still bringing a fair amount of snow to the area. We had a record amount of snowfall yesterday with 8.6 inches of snow. Just trying to get to the radar so we can show that for you. And we have that band of snow that is now sitting right near Metro Buffalo to Blaisdell, toward Lancaster, and into Cheektowaga. Closer look showing the northern edge of the band from Buffalo all the way over toward Clarence. Lackawanna, you're kind of in the heart of the band. That's where that heavy snow is, along Tiff Street, back the 90 by the 400. Visibility is greatly reduced. The 90 by William Street, also dealing with some heavy snow. It's more of a light, fluffy snow, and it's not as windy as it was yesterday, so visibilities aren't as bad as they were yesterday. But still, in that band, you'll pick up 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour, and visibilities will be reduced and roads will become snow covered and quite slick. That band is slowly moving northwards.
So Nate, while we have you on the phone here, walk us through what we can expect in terms of plows, because we were looking at the plow tracker a little bit earlier, and it looked like there were still a number of roads that weren't plowed. And look, I understand because a lot of these contractors don't have that GPS technology in their trucks. So it might look red on the map, but they actually have been plowed. So what can you tell us?
Yeah, so it's a great point. So that map tracker, it looks at our DPW equipment. So we've got yesterday we had 328 pieces out there that would not be showing up on that tracking system. So they were moving snow, clearing snow, working roadways, all parts of the city. I drove a good part of the city, last night and today. North Buffalo, northern part of the town, on the west side, East Buffalo. So, we've had that equipment everywhere. It is not showing up. And that's something we can look in how to integrate that into the future from a technology standpoint. We are doing street by street tracking on our own. So we have our team of inspectors out verifying where our contractors are working, verifying what they're doing, sending pictures back to verify clearances. That said, we'll go down a street and, a couple hours later, someone's going to call and say, hey, I haven't seen you on my street. Well,
Right.
We were there and, you just received 3 or 4 inches of snow since we left. So it's a constant battle right now in that really heavy snowband area that we're working. There's a lot of equipment in that part of the city. That's where our real focus is. As the band moves, we'll keep that equipment there. We'll get that real cleanup going and then shift up, following as we need to with that storm. So
I know that a section of the city obviously seeing that snow ban right now, so we're letting that snow fall and kind of actively working on that. Everywhere else in the city, do you think most streets have gotten at least one pass by a plow?
yeah, certainly. I don't have the exact stat. We keep a metrics down to the 10th of a percentage point of kind of where we are on street clearing. So that latest one I had it sent to me a little bit ago. I just can't reference it while we're on the air here. But that's a metric we keep for our team, and then add that private contractors on top of it. Majority of streets have been certainly one pass. There's a lot of clear streets driving around the majority of Buffalo. Clear, or they're clear enough to handle snow when that band moves up. And then as it does, we'll be on the back end of it, kind of clearing and cleaning out and doing a lot of removal down here in the southern part of the city.
So I'm sorry, I'm just texting back and forth with a bunch of other people trying to get somebody else to join. Nate, if you would, Hannah asking about schools tomorrow. What do you expect? Obviously, the city, when I was driving to work this morning at 3 o'clock, Delaware was down to pavement. It looked great. Those side streets, those residentials, though, are going to take some time. So what are you telling school districts?
Yeah, you know what? We haven't had that conversation. I haven't had that conversation yet with their operating team. We'll have that, I think, as they kind of start to assess the day and look at the forecast. We'll have that conversation. They as a school district, and I won't speak for them directly, but I know they look to protect all their students and all their staff and teaching staff as well. So they'll evaluate that on their end, make their decision what's best for them. We'll work collaboratively. They'll look to us to provide some information on where we think our progress is. And so we'll have that collaboration going forward, but I just don't know where the BPS will stand at this point.
And then Missy Nate wondering, is rotating parking, alternate side parking, is that being enforced today?
No, that's not going to be enforced today. We're holding that. We've got to just keep our streets clear. And then once we get that shift over, then we'll clean up the other side. So a little bit of a process all over the city.
Very good. Good to know, because that Monday is one of those switching days.
Right.
Well, if you live in the city, you know that.
Yep.
Nate, Della just wondering about the east side. She says city streets not clear yet, especially on the east side. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, there might be a street or two here or there that aren't clean, and we're certainly going to get around, and our inspectors are working the city, our supervisors are out. So if there's a few here and there that need a little bit more attention, we'll get on that. There's the majority of the city is in relatively good shape, but we've got our contractors working all the residential. So our DPW team, we had focused on mains and secondaries. We brought in those contractors to hit those residentials. We've assigned them by district and by plow zone across the city. We've got that mapped out at our snow center with our team. it's something we can go back and look at to make sure we've got those resources balanced. I know we pulled not everybody. We pulled a good bit of people in the South Buffalo because they're really, really getting hit hardest out of anybody, and we'll shift that around the city as we need to.
You know, we're seeing exactly that in the comments. Sean is saying South Buffalo Street, they're still waiting for a plow there. And somebody else was saying here, Amy, I wish I could post a picture. South Buffalo is getting absolutely pounded right now.
Yeah.
That's where that band is setting up.
Yeah, the snow is definitely still coming down pretty hard, and as you've been reporting, it'll stay there for a bit and migrate slowly, and we'll move with that to make sure we're clearing the streets again, prepping for the Sabres game today, making sure we're ready as much as we can. But that said, it is winter. It is a lake effect event. It is a storm event. If you are out, we're just going to ask you to use caution, give people extra space, drive slow and careful. That's the best advice we can give everybody.
Nate, I'm wondering, because we're seeing a lot of comments here. Jessica saying, okay, are the 90 and the 190 open to get to the Sabres game? Yes, they are. But then Melissa also saying South Buffalo is terrible. They're getting pounded. What was the decision to lift the driving ban? And look, a lot of people don't want that driving ban in place, and I understand why it was there to make sure that everyone was safe. But what was the conversation to lift it, knowing that parts of the city are still being really hit hard with snow?
Yeah, I mean, getting hit hard with snow is something I think, Western New York, we know what that's about. Certainly residents of South Buffalo, guys down those areas, they get it. So we know what that means when you're getting a lake effect event. The majority of the area, I think as the county executive referenced in his conversations, has been cleared enough. The majority of the storm has passed to allow for safe travel, right? That ban is about, it is unsafe to travel, holistically speaking, as we clear. There's still going to be pockets. A snow ban is going to move. That's going to have difficult conditions, but the ban is lifted because it is what we've all thought, and certainly the county executive as a lead on that. Safe to travel does not mean it is all cleared. That does not mean you can go fast,
right? But
it allows that some of that important travel. If you don't have to travel, certainly recommended not to travel. I think there's still a travel advisory out. So, not just to go joyride and see what it's like, please. But, if you need to get out and get some supplies, that's what that lifting of the ban is for. And allow, people to go to work today as needed. But we're still, we're clearing the streets, the state's clearing their roadways, the county's clearing their roadways. So we're all still in clearing mode, certainly all the municipalities in the area.
Well, that's kind of like what's not being said here, right? The fact that there may have been a travel ban lifted, but that travel advisory is still in place. And the travel advisory meaning no unnecessary travel.
So a couple things that we're learning from you this morning. Number one, that alternate street and side street parking in the city of Buffalo is not being enforced today. So just make sure you're getting out there and doing all the things that you need to do as a neighbor in Buffalo. Maybe handle your sidewalks. Make
fire
sure
hydrants.
The fire hydrants are cleared. Exactly. Very important. And also the crews are now working to clear those roads. At least most streets have gotten at least one pass in South Buffalo. The focus is going to be on right now is that snow is really falling down.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, do you want to see where the band is right now?
Yeah, you know what, Nate? We thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to let you get back to work.
You're busy. You got stuff going on.
Appreciate it. I just see a tractor trailer that might be a little stuck here on South Park that we'll have to go
Okay.
So, yeah.
Good to know. Nate Martin, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
All right, let's take a look then at that snow band right now.
Yeah, that was great with Nate. We really got a lot of valuable information from him right there. Here's where that band is right now from Buffalo, especially South Buffalo, near Blaisdell over toward Lancaster. Southern parts of Cheektowaga, near the airport, you have a little light snow, but northern Cheektowaga, not much. Just saw from one of our viewers saying thank you for the update in Orchard Park. Partly sunny skies right now. Notice the band inching northward. So it's Buffalo to Cheektowaga to Clarence, then south near Elma over toward Lacana. That's where we have the snow, mostly north of Blaisdell and north of Orchard Park. You'll have partly sunny skies in OP with a few flurries at times through early afternoon, and then partly to mostly cloudy for the game. Temperatures will be in the teens. Right now it is cold outside, single digits. Wind chills for just about all of us are below zero.
All right, take a look at this message from Maggie or Mary Maggie right now. We've been talking about this throughout the morning. Okay, we're getting through this snowstorm. We know that South Buffalo is getting hit right now. We've got the Bills game today. And then, Aaron, again this week, we had some viewers who were asking Nate about schools being closed. You're probably the expert to talk to about that. So we have another storm coming in. And also, what do you think about schools this week?
I think areas south of Buffalo that are still dealing with the heavy snow, like Lackawanna in West Seneca,
watch the ticker tomorrow morning. If the kids can't safely be at the bus stop, if they're just unable to move the snow today, there could be some issues. I would say most kids are going to school tomorrow. Wednesday and Thursday, though, that's different. Wednesday, especially near Buffalo, watch us very closely. We have a winter storm watch Tuesday morning through Thursday at 7 p.m. for another potential round of significant snow coming in off of Lake Erie. The band will once again set up to the northeast of the lake and kind of meander like it did yesterday. So we're going to see that again Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So it looks like the winds may push that band a little closer to the metro area late Tuesday into Wednesday. So Wednesday morning and Thursday morning, those days, pay attention to what's going on as potential is there for schools to close. So have a plan, parents, if the kids have to stay home, but you can't. So you want to be ready for that.
What are you talking about in terms of snowfall? Like how much snowfall?
You're going to find anywhere from 8 to 14 inches, locally higher amounts. I mean, we had some areas, Derby picked up 41 inches of snow with this last band. Lake Erie's 40 degrees, so that lake is wide open, and we're getting a reinforcing shot of colder air, and that's coming in, and that'll keep that lake, they'll fire up the lake effect snow machine again tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. The lake effect snow band right now over Buffalo, well, near Buffalo, moving slowly northward. It'll fizzle out later today, and then tomorrow it comes back.
So the city just sent out a text alert saying that the driving ban has been lifted. Okay. We know that. Another 4 to 6 inches, though, of snow, 4 to 6.
Yes,
expected today.
Today, in the I have 3 to 6 on my forecast page. So in the band, in the core of the band, you'll see some locally higher amounts, like in that 4 to 6 inch range. That band right now is just to our from South Buffalo to Lancaster to Blaisdell, and it's slowly inching northward. I put that line on the screen so you can see where the band is. Now, earlier this morning, it was south of that line, and then it moved toward the line. That's basically hanging out there the last couple of hours. After around 9 or 10 a.m., it'll start to push northward. Now, Lori is saying, how close is the lake to freezing? Not close at all, Lori. Unfortunately, Lake Erie is 40 degrees right now. It is wide open, and we're getting this blast of cold air across the lake. Is Depew included for the storm this week? Yes, Hannah. That will be tomorrow morning. We will all have snow for the morning commute, about 1 to 3 inches. And you're like, 1 to 3 inches, no problem. We have seen a number of times already this season where an inch or two of snow coming in for the morning commute really slows things down. So that's what we'll see on Tuesday. And then lake effect snow ramps up late Tuesday into Wednesday and Thursday.
That lake effect snow that's coming in. Okay, so we saw Hannah ask about Depew. Aaron's now asking about Lancaster. Is everybody getting that?
Well, Erie, Genesee, and Wyoming counties are under the watch for that time period. I would say Lancaster, Buffalo, Cheektowaga, Depew, Alden, Blaisdell, be prepared for another round of some heavier snows Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
So you've seen me texting back and forth.
I have. You're
working
like
my fingers trying to figure out what's going on. So I've been in touch with folks from Hamburg. I've been in touch with folks from the Bills. I've been in touch with folks from Erie County, and all of this is now kind of coming to fruition. So I was speaking to folks from the Bills. Derek Bueco, who's in charge of media relations for the Buffalo Bills. I asked him if he would join us on this show. He won't, but says that he's shoveling now, which is pretty cool. And
realistically, they've got a lot to do.
Yeah.
And he's also asking if you are interested in shoveling, that you show up to help shovel out the Buffalo Bills.
So they are still looking for people.
They are.
Still, Adam actually just tweeted only moments ago the actual thing that they tweeted out. There was a limit to the first 200 shovelers. I'm going to guess they would go for more people if they could, because they're still asking people to show up. You can arrive, you can register. This was all starting yesterday. And then overnight, around 5 a.m., they were still asking for people to come. Okay. Adam was there this morning during our show, seeing people walking in with shovels.
Right. Cheryl. Good morning. Glad you're with us, Cheryl. No, Lancaster is no longer under a travel ban. So the only places right now under a travel ban is Cheektowaga until 9 o'clock and the city of Lacana. I've also been trying to get somebody on the phone from Lackawanna, but when I called Lackawanna police this morning, obviously they're very busy. All of their lieutenants, their captains, their chief on the road this morning trying to maintain control, I suppose, of the roads, because as we now know, the city of Lackawanna is still under that driving ban this morning.
And they're still getting snow, and you're going to see a few more inches of snow in Lackawanna before the band finally pushes northward.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the game today, because I
Okay.
think that that's something a lot of people are looking forward to.
Mhm.
Number one, starts at 4:30 at Highmark, and we've had Adam there throughout the morning. Our Adam Campos is there.
Do we want to go to Adam after? Because we got to go to weather in
We
just a
certainly
second.
can. We can do a cut.
Let's
Let's show people what it looks like at the stadium right now, Adam, if you don't mind just throwing up your phone and showing people what it looks like, and then we'll join in with you afterwards so we can actually take a look. So here are the conditions right now at Highmark Stadium. Sunny in Orchard Park. You've heard someone mention that before. Can you believe it after everything that we've been seeing throughout the morning?
Look at that.
and the sun is coming up over the stadium. I mean,
Hold
it's-
still for me, Adam. Oh, you can't. You're trying.
No, he's just walking.
Guys, can I
now.
tell you?
Yeah.
Somebody actually took a picture inside the
I
porta
saw
potty.
it. I saw it.
It was-
And the
yeah.
comments were, we can't repeat them.
It's going to be a real, you know what, game for the Steelers.
Someone said it's cold as
Yeah.
you know what out there.
Okay, we're going to check in with Aaron, who's tracking that 7 weather forecast. So stand by for us. He's going to be on TV giving the weather, and he's also going to do it for you right here. Oh, we're a minute 30
He
out.
still has a little
Oh,
bit
okay.
of time here. So
My bad.
you know what? That's all right. We're going to still take a couple of people's comments here and see what people have to say. Marguerite saying, believe it or not, I saw a comment on a friend's Facebook. A car wash was open yesterday. Who would want to go to a car wash in that weather? Let's see here.
Wait, before we move on, somebody was also asking about the travel advisories and the travel ban. So just because there is a travel ban that has been lifted doesn't mean that there isn't still an advisory. In fact, in all of Erie County where those travel bans have been lifted, there's still a travel advisory. So no unnecessary travel.
You absolutely want to take care as you head out. Ed and I both drove in this morning, and we were in pretty good shape as far as what the roads looked like then in the city of Buffalo, but that's not the case everywhere, and it's not the case in the side streets as well.
Okay, so Aaron is going to join us tracking that 7 weather forecast. He's got an idea of where that band is right now, how it's affecting people south of the city, and what is still to come later into this week. Danielle saying, so school tomorrow, possibly no school Wednesday and Thursday. Those are questions that Aaron's going to answer for us. So stand by as he does just that.
Good morning, everyone. Checking out the radar right now. We have a couple of warnings. One warning I want to pass along to you. It is for northern Erie County. Winter storm warning staying in effect until 1 p.m. today. That includes the metro area, as we have a lake effect snow band near Buffalo right now, and it's slowly going to inch northward. We get through today's lake effect snow and get ready for another round of lake effect snow coming in off of Lake Erie. Winter storm watches posted from 10 a.m. on Tuesday through 7 p.m. on Thursday for Erie, Genesee, and Wyoming counties. Radar off showing that band off of Lake Erie right now. Buffalo toward southern parts of Cheektowaga, Lancaster into Blaisdell. Closer look showing that snow near Lackawanna right now. Along the 190 over toward the 90 interchange, the snow is really coming down about as far south as Blaisdell over toward West Seneca, as this band is going to push northward as the morning moves along. In the band, you'll see another 3 to 6 inches of snowfall. 9 right now in Buffalo, 3 in Jamestown, 7 in Niagara Falls, Medina, 5 degrees, Marilla, 7. Wind chills below 0. Feels like 11 degrees below 0 in Jamestown. It feels like 6 below right now in Niagara Falls. Your forecast for today. Outside of the lake band, you'll have partly sunny skies, highs in the teens. In the lake band, which is near the metro area this morning, shifting northward later today, expect about 2 to 6 inches of additional accumulation on top of what's already on the ground. We get to tonight. Overnight lows near 12 with a general snow. So not a lake effect snow. This is a general snow, about 1 to 3 inches by tomorrow morning for all of us. And then as your Tuesday moves along, we'll see more snow coming in off of Lake Erie. Look at the high tomorrow, 17. Wednesday, you're waking up, the temperatures in the single digits. Lake effect snow continues through Thursday. More snow showers Friday and Saturday. Cold again on Sunday.
All right. So Aaron giving us the forecast there. He's going to join us back at the desk in a second. I saw somebody ask the question, am I still, oh, it was Lori. Am I still going to the game? No.
Oh, are you still going to the game? I thought they were, are they still going?
The answer is no. I am trying to sell my tickets, figuring like that might be a good option for somebody who really does want to go. Not that I don't want to go, I do, but we still have to work tomorrow. It's going to be one of those long nights, and to be honest with you, I don't really want to sit out in the cold.
Can I just tell you, this is going to be, the snow aside, a very cold Bills game.
Right.
Now they're moving all the snow out of the way, and hopefully the parking situation will be able to figure all that out. That's going to be tough to get in. It's going to be tough to get out, even more than it usually is, and it's going to be really, really cold.
So let's check in with our 7 News reporter, Adam Campos. He's live for us at Highmark Stadium this morning. Adam, show us the conditions. We know people are showing up there with shovels. What are you seeing?
Hey, good morning, everybody, and good morning, Cuppies. We are here at Highmark. Just first off, look at the sunrise. That's gorgeous. I took a video for Instagram, and I saw it, and I was just blown away. I mean, that's what you want to see on game day, but you don't want to see all the snow that's piled up. Just look at the snow banks that are getting piled up from the crews. I'm here at lot 6 in and around here, and I mean, they have been working all day and all night, and all of the snow was from the storm yesterday that I was in for about 5 hours. It was absolutely crazy being in that. I mean, the winds that we were getting all day long yesterday, I couldn't see at least 5 feet in front of me. So, and at points, if you saw my videos on social media, you couldn't even see the stadium in a lot of times. And it just stayed consistent all throughout the day. Luckily, we were able to make it back to the station at around 5:30, so we got out safely, which is great. But now you see the effect and what happened after all of that snow came in from the band that hit Orchard Park yesterday. And I mean, it's piled up. Some of the snow right here is just piled up to my hip. Again, we know how tall I am. That just tells you how much snow came in. So they're working all night long.
So Adam, I wonder, have you seen any shovelers that we can actually speak with, number one? And number two, we just heard from the Bills. I just spoke with them myself. They're asking for more shovelers to come to the stadium and help them clear out. So what are you seeing?
That is right. So I actually got to speak to a few people earlier today, right after our live shows. And somebody told me he was there for 9 hours today helping clear out the stadium. And you can kind of see, if you look real closely, you see the 300 sections. They still have a lot of work to do. He told me they were barely touching into the 300 when he had left. And again, mind you, he had been there for 9 hours. So again, outside here in the parking lots, as you can see, the heavy duty equipment, they got a lot of work to do. And inside, there is still a lot of snow to be taken out from the seats. So if you know anybody that may want to earn a little bit of extra money by doing this, come out and help. The Bills, they said, like I said, from some of the shovelers, they said they need it right now.
Adam, a couple of questions that we're getting from people who are watching right now. They want to know, have you seen any tailgaters yet?
So another group that I saw, they came late at night to help shovel, and they're coming to the game too. So they said, hey, we're just going to stay out here. We're going to wait on it. There's no point in us kind of going back and forth, because one person came from Lockport and the other came from Grand Island. So they're like, we're not going to drive all the way back and forth. So some people are just staying out here. I haven't seen any actual tailgates pop up yet, though, because the lots right here on Highmark, they don't actually open up until 12:30. So if there's any tailgates that are probably happening, they're going to be out off the lot here at Highmark.
It's really interesting. We heard from Erie County Executive Mark Polenkars yesterday that parking is going to be at a premium today, because so many of those private lots, especially those grassy lots where those people park on front lawns or on driveways, are not going to be, I don't want to say they're not going to be used, but they're not going to be able to be used because they have to be cleared out.
They might only be able to use a section of them too, right? Because you got to push the snow somewhere.
Well, and so that's kind of what he was saying. So if you're planning on parking at the stadium, you're asked to carpool. You're asked to go with a couple of extra buddies, pick them up, go all together so that other people can have a place to park. Kathy's saying give those guys who are doing all the shoveling some food and hot coffee. They are. So not only are you getting $20 an hour, you're also getting some hot chocolate, some food, some hot stuff.
Adam, have you? I know you talked to a couple of people who were inside shoveling. They talked to you about the process at all, or what were they? How did they say it looked inside?
Like I said, one person just straight up told me. I mean, they were busting their butts, for lack of a better term, to get that snow out. And like I said, they just said they still have a whole bunch of work to do. I'm trying to get as close as I possibly can. Obviously, like trying to trek through the snow. But if you look up into the 300s, those seats are filled. They're not making much progress from what they were telling me. They said they were sweating all night, even as cold as it was. They said they were sweating bullets, and it was just it was a lot of hard work they were having fun with it. Of course, they were throwing snowballs around, also too trying to enjoy their time while they were putting in the work overnight. But in terms of the actual workload, you could kind of, like I said, you could tell from that 300 section, they still got a lot to do. And again, somebody told me even after 9 hours of working there wasn't much of a dent made.
Well, did you see that guy who was sliding down?
The shirtless dude.
Yeah, the chute
That was
from the
hilarious.
top of the stadium all the way down to the bottom. He's just one of those Buffalo tried and true fans.
I love that there's a chute for when we're shoveling the snow.
It's smart.
It's so smart because you'd be walking all around the place and getting. Great idea. Hilarious that we have that concept and like we know how to shovel snow out of the stadium.
Margaret, good morning to you. On a positive note, my husband's place of employment closing at 3 p.m. to allow all of their employees time to get home to watch the game. Thought that was pretty awesome. That is awesome. That's super cool.
Yeah, that's really great.
Love that.
Diane saying that guy nuts. The shirtless
Right,
guy.
I know. But he's made it all across the country. Like he is being seen on every single network right now. For better or for worse. I mean, this is Buffalo, right? Marguerite says the Bills could give ticket hours, little sand pail.
Oh, sand pails. Give
Oh,
ticket
got
people
it.
little
Yeah,
sand
yeah.
pails to clear off their street. Yeah.
Oh, Beaner Lynn. That was my nephew, Charlie, who went down the chute. He had a great time and got tickets to the game. He's 17 years old.
Fantastic.
That is going to be a lifelong memory for this kid.
Yeah, no kidding. Good for him. And he must be a lot warmer than I am. He runs warm, apparently.
Lynn, I'm sure your first name is Lynn. Could you connect us with him? We would love to chat with him. You can send me a direct message on Instagram with his contact information. I'm at Dranch TV, or you can send me a message on my Facebook page. We would love to chat with him.
Kathy says it's a great way to represent our true Buffalo Mafia fans. And Lauren agreed that was really great, that video.
Oh, thank you, Lynn. Appreciate you. Yeah, he was on GMA this morning. We saw him as we were watching. It was hysterical. Lynn Marie says, people were making rude comments about that guy. I say leave him alone. He was having a great time. Yeah, and we just heard.
Living his best life.
No kidding. Charlie. Love that. Okay. I want to talk to Aaron again because there are a lot of questions now about the north towns, I guess, southern Niagara County as well. We know Lockport got hit pretty hard.
Yep.
So what are we looking at as we continue to track that snowfall?
Okay, as the day moves along, that band is going to make its way back northward up towards Lockport and the Tonawandis for a couple more inches of snow. Nothing like you saw over the weekend. NT and Lockport picking up more than a foot of snowfall, but not the case today. You will see a couple more inches as your Monday moves along. We've had some impressive snow totals. Just updated the numbers. Check this out. Derby, 41 inches of snow. Blaisdell, 36 inches. Lancaster, 26. Orchard Park, 17. And officially at the Buffalo Weather Service, 10.8 inches of snow. Yesterday, they picked up 8.6 inches of snow at the airport, which is a new record for January 14th in Buffalo. So broke the old record of 7.8 back in 1963. You're coming to the Sabres game today. We have lake effect snow at 11 a.m. Snow showers after the game. Temperatures in the teens. For the Bills game, partly sunny with a cold breeze for your tailgaters, maybe a flurry or two, and then mostly cloudy and cold for the game. Temperatures around 12, wind chills close to 0. We still have that winter storm warning, guys, in effect until 1 p.m. today for northern Erie County, which includes Buffalo, as the band slowly pushes northward. Winter storm watch in effect for Erie, Genesee, and Wyoming counties Tuesday through Thursday for another round of snow. There's the band right now, and it is hanging out from Blaisdell to Buffalo over toward Lancaster. Later this morning, it'll shift further northward and make its way back into Buffalo, North Buffalo, Amherst, over toward Clarence, where you'll pick up a few inches of accumulation.
All right, so we know Lacana still has that travel ban in place right now. Cheektowaga is lifting theirs in about 20 minutes, so it's going to be at 9 o'clock because that's happening. Also want to let you know the Walden Galleria opening at noon today. I know you guys are just waiting to go shopping and how much you love to go. You actually do love to go.
Yeah.
You would rather be
I know what
anywhere
you were
else.
taking. I was making it.
But the Galleria is
joke.
reopening today at noon, and Cheektowaga will be lifting that travel ban at 9. But again, that advisory remaining in effect.
Okay, so on Instagram, because we are broadcasting live on Instagram as well, Paisley Girl 83 joining us. Good morning to you. Glad you're with us. Saying, I work at the stadium. I might be walking to work later.
Ooh, I hope she lives close.
Yeah. So dress warm. Make sure you've got those layers on. It's going to be one
There's
of
going
those
to be a
super
huge
cold
problem
games.
with parking. today
Yeah.
because many of the lots, especially the ones that you might park in someone's lawn,
Mhm.
they're going to have a very difficult time clearing those out. Those corner lots that I like to park in, so you can get in and out pretty easily. Good luck with those. So you're encouraged to carpool, get yourself to the game today because there's really not a lot of places to put all these
Talk
cars.
about temperatures at the game as well.
Low teens, mid-teens during the day, low teens during the game. Winds will be much lighter today, about 5 to 15 miles per hour, but still wind chills close to zero, single digits close to zero. So, just dress appropriately. Obviously, it's cold out there, and, you want to layer up and, pace yourself if you're tailgating. You want to be careful with what you're drinking today.
A little bit earlier, we actually talked to the Orchard Park police chief. He joined us live on the show this morning. His name is
I have
Patrick
to go do the radio.
Fitzgerald.
I'll be right back.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We'll see you in a second. And
Turn the mic off, Aaron.
here's what
Good
he
point.
had to say, because we were asking him about people who are headed to the game today. And if you're driving to the game, what you need to keep in mind as far as the roads go. So, John, could you pull up the soundbite from the police chief from a little bit earlier today when we talked to him? You got another foot of snow overnight. So what do we do now as we move into game day?
We did. We had made some progress digging out last night, and then we got another foot of snow in the northern part of town. So we've got a lot of work ahead. Fans that are arriving should expect to find snowy conditions. While the roads will be plowed, we know that private lot owners are working on clearing their yards. We've got commercial lot owners that are working with private contractors to clear. And then, of course, we see what the Buffalo Bills are doing in their lots. So a lot of work to be done prior to people arriving.
Okay, so that was for Orchard Park. I'm getting an update now about Hamburg. Overnight, they're saying snow continued to fall in the northern half of the town. The local highway and DPW crews were all out overnight in different neighborhoods. In town, they had 6 plows, 8 high lifts working, 6 high lifts contracted from Erie County. The DOT assisting the town, plowing 10 primary roads while the town trucks focused on secondary streets and neighborhoods. Right now, there are 11 plows out in town. The other primary roads are maintained by the Erie County Highway Department, and New York State Department of Transportation are in good shape. They're also asking that you be mindful of what's happening in Lacana, and I'll go over the travel bans in a second. In Lacana, they still have that driving ban in effect, so please respect that they can get that cleared. A travel advisory remains in effect, so if you don't have to travel, please don't. Okay, so let's talk about those travel bans and travel advisories. Right now, the only place that has an actual travel ban is Lacana and Cheektowaga until 9. Everywhere else has been put into a travel advisory, meaning you are allowed to travel, but they're suggesting no unnecessary travel.
And the Cheektowaga, again, as I'd mentioned, ends at 9. Lackawanna, they're going to have to reassess because they have kept that travel ban in place. And we know that when we look at that actual band of snow, Lackawanna really just got hammered here. And they're still in the ban. The last time Aaron had showed it to us, along with South Buffalo. So crews are hitting South Buffalo right now. But again, that travel ban still in place in Lackawanna, and then it'll lift in Cheektowaga shortly. And then we're still exactly waiting to hear when it would lift in Lackawanna.
Marguerite, glad you're with us. We appreciate you being a loyal cuppy. How long is Second Cup today? We're going until 10 o'clock.
Oh my gosh.
So not only are we going to be streaming here on Facebook Live and our WKBW app, we're also going to be on Channel 7 from 9 to 10. So kind of similar to what we did yesterday, where we had you on TV and folks who are also weighing in, grabbing their phone, joining the conversation.
Tina, thank you for that compliment. And I know that our crews appreciate it as well, because we had people out all over the place yesterday. And you know what? On a Sunday, like many of your jobs, a lot of people are usually off. Not these people. They came in, they went everywhere they had to be. So we want you to know that we appreciate that.
On Instagram, Buffalo Bills in Grills Tailgate, telling us that we are serving up lots of good Buffalo food.
Ooh,
in the Graves.
that sounds great.
I know. And then I was also seeing a comment here wondering about West Seneca. Yes, West Seneca is indeed lifted. That doesn't mean that everything is totally clear and that things are totally amazing. It means that you can travel.
Right. Travel advisory still not a ban. So just be careful as you're out there. And we also see, I mean, you and I were saying North Buffalo and like Elmwood Village area where you kind of drove through, and downtown looking pretty good in the city of Buffalo. And right now we know they're getting hammered south of the city.
So Buffalo Bills and Grills Tailgate kind of updating. I'm like, what's the Graves? Because I had no idea what she was talking about. I was kind of just reading her comment like, oh, yeah, okay. They're serving up some delicious buffalo food in the gravel lot.
Ooh. Oh, ask her how the gravel lot. Well, actually, I'll ask you since you're watching. How's the gravel lot looking? Or have you talked to anybody from there? We're dying to know a little bit more about parking. We know it's going to be tricky. We know people are being asked to carpool, and we know that there's just a lot of snow that's got to get trekked out of a lot of places. So let us know what the lots look like if you've seen.
Also on Instagram, low-key Shauna weighing in. What about the west side of Buffalo? So we know that within 24 hours of the snowfall stopping, the goal for DPW crews in Buffalo is to get at least one pass of every single street. They have been working on the mains, the secondaries, and the residentials. The residentials, unfortunately, fall kind of third to the main and the secondary. So they're working to get the west side cleared. Look, I live on a street, too, that hasn't been plowed at all yet, and I've got about 8 inches of snow on the ground. So it was a little difficult to drive through that this morning. Understandably, those crews have been out for many hours working to make sure that at least the main routes are clear and available for those emergencies to use.
And we talked to Nate Martin a little while ago from Buffalo's Public Works, and he was telling us, to the best of his knowledge, most streets got at least one pass. But again, they're working with private contractors right now, too. They've got like 100 or so pieces of equipment that the city actually owns. Then they brought in another couple hundred from private contractors. So they can't exactly track where those private contractors are. I thought it was actually really interesting when he was saying they have crews go out and take pictures to report back whether or not different streets have been plowed.
Well, look, they've got to do that because
hold people accountable and hold people who they're hiring accountable.
But the other side of that, too, is that their snowplow tracker just doesn't work, right? I mean, like, it works, but it's not efficient because these private contractors don't have the GPS tracking in their trucks. So there's a lot of red on the GPS plow tracker. But in essence, those streets could have been done.
All right, Maria was saying, isn't it supposed to be snowing again in Buffalo soon? So Maria, depending on where you are in Buffalo, it actually is snowing right now. South of the city is in that lake effect band right now. So it's South Buffalo area that's really getting hit. Yes, Aaron, we're going to bring Aaron back in because we've got Maria asking, isn't it supposed to start snowing again in Buffalo soon?
Yes.
Talk us through where in the city is going to get hit and how much snow.
Okay, South Buffalo has light snow right now. The rest of Buffalo and North Buffalo will see some snow in about an hour or so. That's pretty fascinating. If you look at the band, look out over Lake Erie, see how it's kind of uniform, and then all of a sudden it jogs northward.
Yeah,
that's the jog that'll make its way into Buffalo. So it's about 20 miles away. If it's moving 20 miles an hour away, Edward?
I love the way this band looks. Like, it looks like a jump rope.
It does.
You know, it's kind of like, or the battle ropes in the gym. You know what I'm talking about? They go up and down, they undulate.
It looks miserable.
It's like a sine cosine sort of thing. Yeah. And if you look closer, you can see a little spinning too in that band. There's what you call like these mesovortices inside the band. It's a fascinating band, and meteorologically, it's fascinating too. I don't want to bore you with the excitement.
I'm kind of excited. What does that mean?
I can see. Well, inside you have these little circulations, and that's where you'd have like a little burst of heavier snow. So it's just amazing to watch and see it unfold as it makes its way toward us. The southern edge of the band near Blaisdell, Lacana with more snow along Tiff Street. Oh, just dealing with that snowfall as that band continues. Ooh, it's cold outside, just 9 degrees. But I want to go back to the lake effect snow band and notice that band heading toward the metro area and then up into Buffalo, Amherst, Cheektowaga, you'll start to see the snow increase in the next hour or so. And like I mentioned, out over the lake, there's that arrow. And then notice to the bottom of the arrow, the band is north of the arrow. And that is where the band will start to shift, and expect that in the next hour or so. So pretty cool to see.
Kevin also wondering, is this next lake event going to be as extreme?
Could be. Right now, you're looking at early indications of 8 to 16 inches of snow. This band, we forecasted 1 to 3 feet of snow, and that's what we saw, except for Derby, 41 inches. That's the highest amount, but Blaisdell, 36 inches. So this band could be another long-lasting event. This is what I'm saying is round 1, which isn't over yet, and then round 2 fires up for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And yeah, if with schools and whatnot, have a plan for Wednesday, especially in Buffalo. Lake effect snow, it changes. It's kind of like forecasting for a hurricane where you have that cone of uncertainty. These bands do move around a bit, but right now, if you can't miss work and your kids are home, have a plan, perhaps Wednesday and Thursday. Some of them could be staying home.
Barbara, Go ahead.
Oh, I
Katie.
was just going to say, yeah, it's smart to have that
Yeah.
plan in place. Yeah, Barbara was asking, you want to pull her comment up?
Yeah, I want to talk about Riverside and Buffalo and the west side of Buffalo. Those are two places that we were asked questions about this morning. What can you tell us?
Okay, so Riverside, you're very close. You're getting some light snow right now. The moderate snow to heavy snow is just to yourself. And a place like Riverside, which is closer to Lake Erie, will pick up a few more inches of snowfall. It's going to start to ramp up shortly, around 9:30 or so, close to 10 a.m. And then the band will move further northward late this morning and into this afternoon. So places like Riverside, North Buffalo, Kenmore, Tonawanda, Amherst, you'll see a couple more inches of snow later this morning. Then the band shifts further northward this afternoon.
We've got a mom writing in here.
I love this from Petra.
She wants to know her son has to drive from Hamburg to Damon
Okay.
around noon. It'll be okay for him.
Well, he's going to be driving through that. So Hamburg is clearing out right now, and unfortunately, he's got to go back into the band to get to Damon around noontime. Damon will be on the southern edge of the band, so yeah, he'll see a little snow, but he should be fine. Roads, the main roads, they've cleared very, very nicely.
Yeah.
But in that band, you can't put a dome over all of Western New York.
Here's a good one, too.
We're getting that snow right now.
Because the Sabres are playing at noon today.
Yeah, I was hoping to go too. How will travel be the Sabres game? Should be fine until you get toward downtown Buffalo. If you're coming early, say 11 a.m., we'll still have some snow in the metro area, but again, we'll be on the southern edge of that band in Buffalo, downtown, by around 11 a.m. After you get out of the game, some snow showers, temperatures in the teens, wind chills near zero.
Justin wondering what time would be the best time to drive from Little Valley to Buffalo?
Actually, you're probably fine right now.
Go.
Yeah.
Get your keys.
The main roads are clearing out. Now we're starting to see some more traffic on the roads, working the salt in, so that's helping as well. These things, unfortunately, they just take time. But in Buffalo, if you're driving, you will run into some snow when you make your way. Blaisdell, the southern edge right now, and then that band is into Buffalo. It's not as strong or as intense as it was yesterday, but still big fluffy flakes accumulating pretty quickly.
Okay, as you're getting your morning kind of situated, figuring out what you're doing, you live in Cheektowaga or Hamburg, I want you to stay with us. We've got two very important people coming up in our next hour. The emergency services manager from Hamburg is going to join us talking about road conditions there and what we can expect and what we can see there. Then on the other side of this, in our next hour also.
Right after that,
right.
yeah, we'll have the town supervisor from Cheektowaga too.
Right.
So
good.
a couple of guests are going to be joining us.
And that'll be right after the travel ban lifts in
It will.
Cheektowaga.
Right at 9 o'clock is when it lifts. I want to let you guys know too. I talked to the highway superintendent in Lancaster who says roads are looking good. They're now drifting, still their biggest issue.
Yes.
Especially South Lancaster on those open roads. We know Lancaster has so many of those open roads.
Yeah, and the north-south roads with that westerly wind coming across those, pushing more snow onto them, so reducing visibility. So I know a lot of people asking about school for tomorrow. Some of those hardest hit areas, if it's hard to see with the kids at the bus stop, they'll have to make a decision if they cannot get to all the roads today. But right now, I would say most kids are going to school on Tuesday.
Yeah, you were saying earlier, like if they canceled for tomorrow, it would really be the cold more than anything.
Yeah, well, exactly. And the fact that they just were having difficulty plowing. Because some areas, Blaisdell, Derby, 3 feet of snow. You got to put that snow someplace. So that's what you're going to be dealing with.
Aaron, you're going to be doing the weather again on Channel 7 in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
We're
and
going
I'm-
to take that live here. Oh, okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm going to head over there now because last time I cut it too closely and I didn't get my maps where I wanted.
Okay.
That bothers me. It's going to bother me all day.
You head over there and let us answer the question that who was
Kristen.
asking about the airport. Do you have that, Kristen?
Yeah.
No, Connie. Connie's asking about the airport. Oh, and Kristen. Both people asking about the airport. All right, let's take a look here. We've got the Buffalo Airport. We're going to pull up their arrivals and departures. It's loading right now. What we were seeing a little bit earlier was that as it was headed later into the morning, that flights were coming in. All right, we've got a couple flights that are in air right now, arriving from Charlotte, from Washington, New York City. Kristen, I had a feeling, I think that's where she was. A couple of Delta flights delayed. What time is your flight? Let us know. A lot of the others are scheduled. We're seeing a couple that are delayed still. It's important to think about, too, with the airport. It's not just what's happening in Buffalo. Look at what's been happening all across the country. There have been a lot of delays and
Right.
a lot of
Well,
cancellations.
and the airport in Buffalo is second to none, right? I mean, we've got the best crews here taking care of these planes and the runways, making sure that they're de-iced and cleared of snow. But as you mentioned, everyone else around us can't do their jobs.
So-
Do you know what I mean?
You heard it from
know
Ed,
what I
not
mean.
from Katie. The majority of flights say they're scheduled right now that are coming in the afternoon. We'll let the departures load too. This morning, a lot of departures got canceled.
Jennifer, glad you're with us. Good morning to you. Is the 90 open? Yes, in fact, it is. All of the travel bans have been lifted except for the city of Lacana, and Cheektowaga is being lifted at 9. So literally 6 minutes from now, you'll be able to operate under a travel advisory in Cheektowaga. And we're going to speak with the Cheektowaga town supervisor at the top of the hour.
Okay, Kristen's landing just before 4, around 3:30. Kristen, it looked like everything was scheduled right now. So hopefully you'll be able to get it.
Mary, ban lifted in Buffalo, only driving ban active till 9 a.m. is for Cheektowaga. Lackawanna is in effect until further notice. So let's make that just very clear. The only one that's lifting this morning at 9 o'clock is Cheektowaga. Lackawanna hit really hard, and they've got those really narrow streets. It's a very small city, but they are inevitably having a little bit of trouble clearing all that snow and need to make sure that it's safe, not only for you, but also for the people who need to respond to emergencies, the police, the first responders.
I mean, truthfully, when we really think about it, it's funny because Paul and I were talking about that last night. We were saying that really, yes, while all of us might like to go somewhere and we were really bored this weekend, we were home, we were safe. If you need help, you need somebody to be able to get to you.
Right. And so the more we think about it, the more we realize that Buffalo isn't soft, but we have to look out for one another and, make sure that we're operating as a city of good neighbors.
Okay, Brittany's asking about Williamsville. So, Brittany, that band was going to shift back up north. And in just a little bit, within the next minute, Aaron is going to be doing a live weather. So pay close attention to that and watch that snow band because he's going to tell you exactly where it's headed. But it did sound like it was going to be over Amherst for a little while.
And Betty just kind of reiterating exactly what we're saying here. Lackawanna is until further notice.
We can use the cameras.
So Sean Crotty is joining us. We're going to take him live at the top of the hour. He's Hamburg's emergency services manager. And we're going to chat with him about conditions there in Hamburg. No, we're not on IFB. We're just using the audio here.
Sorry, these cameras.
Okay, do you need
to
dial into IFB? Okay, we'll dial into IFB.
Sorry, we're talking to Alexa.
Aaron is going to be tracking that 7 weather forecast for us, not only here on Second Cup, but of course on Channel 7 as well. I'm going to pause here. Let's take those weather graphics. Hey, John, how long until we go to weather? 15 seconds.
All
okay,
right.
Here we go.
So if you had questions, watch Aaron's live broadcast right now.
Okay. Hey, good morning, everyone. Here's a view of the 90 at Blaisdell. Love this camera shot right here. You can see partly sunny skies with snow coming down right there in Blaisdell. View of the 90 between the 33 and Walden with traffic moving smoothly. Again, some light snowfall at the moment. And the 290 at Main Street, there's some snow in Amherst by the Blue Water Tower. Tracking that snow band off of Lake Erie right now. Notice the band has been stationary for the last few hours, but about 15 miles to the southwest of Buffalo, the band starts to jog further northward. We'll start to see some moderate snow push northward into Buffalo and North Buffalo in the next half hour to 45 minutes. Amherst starting to see a little light snow right now. Same thing with Clarence, Cheektowaga, Lackawanna, southern edge of the band near Blaisdell. We have partly sunny skies with some light snow right now. It is 9 degrees in Buffalo, 9 in Niagara Falls, 4 in Jamestown, Akron 6 degrees, Orchard Park 8. Feels like it's 2 degrees below zero in Buffalo. It feels like 14 below in Jamestown, 7 below in Niagara Falls. Your forecast for today. We'll have that snow making its way into the metro area as the morning moves along, then pushing northward later today. Expect about 2 to 6 inches of snow in that band. Temperatures in the upper teens. Partly sunny skies outside of the band. Wind southwesterly 10 to 20 miles per hour with higher gusts this morning, putting wind chills below zero. Good news, the winds will diminish later today. Now tonight, overnight lows near 12 with general snow about 1 to 3 inches by tomorrow morning. Winds out of the southwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Great news. We'll have mostly cloudy skies with lighter winds for the game, but it's going to be cold with temperatures near 10 in Orchard Park. Here's that 7-day. Now, tomorrow we'll have snow in the morning with more lake effect snow late Tuesday through Wednesday and Thursday. Friday and Saturday, snow shower, still cold, partly cloudy, near 20 degrees on Sunday. Do you guys want me after the interviews?
I think so. Okay, so we're just getting ready to broadcast live on Channel 7. So if you are watching us here on the stream, we tell your friends and your family, share this around, let them know that we're going to be on TV at 9 o'clock.
Because what we can do is answer their specific questions. Right. You can write into us, go to our WKBW Facebook page, watch us on Instagram. We have a Twitter too. We're watching for your questions, and we can take them directly to our different guests or our meteorologist.
Okay, so we're going to merge in our TV viewers. And again, we appreciate you being with us here for an extended special edition of Second Cup. We're not doing this like stuffy newscast here. We're just kind of trying to get you the information you need.
We're flying by the seat of our pants, people.
But we're doing it in a really authentic way and making sure that we're just having that conversation with you.
I think so. And we have a lot of good information and just things that we need to go over this morning.
Okay, we've got 20 seconds here
until we're going to go live on air. So turn your television on, grab your phone, go to our Facebook page.
Tell your friends and family too.
And join us.
Okay, good morning to you. It's 9 o'clock on the start of your Monday morning. Glad you're with us on this Martin Luther King Day. A lot of people off from school, a lot of people off from work, but a lot of people, frankly, wouldn't be able to get to wherever they're going because of all of the snow that's fallen. As of this moment, Cheektowaga's driving ban has been lifted. That is no longer in effect, and there is a travel advisory in place for every other town and city in Erie County except for the city of Lacana, where that travel ban is in effect until further notice.
Really important to keep that in mind. Lackawanna still has a travel ban and that it is still an advisory in other places, which means you want to take care. We're going to bring in our chief meteorologist, Aaron Rankowski, in just a bit. He's been tracking that snow ban. We also know the focus of so many people's day today is that 4:30 game at Highmark Stadium. And the Bills have been working to clear the stadium. People have been gathering there overnight into the early morning. They've been shoveling out the stadium. At last check, it looked like the 300 level still had a lot of snow up there.
I was speaking with the Buffalo Bills media spokesperson just a little while ago, now asking for more people to show up at Highmark Stadium with your shovel to get all of that stuff out of the stadium ahead of today's 4:30 kickoff against the Steelers.
And how about when we checked in last, and probably about half an hour ago, it was sunny at the stadium. After all of those pictures that we saw that made the national news, right? And the whiteouts, you couldn't see the stadium from however many feet away. It was sunny in Orchard Park, but cold as they were working to clear the snow.
This is what it looked like this morning when our crews were there. Our Adam Campos actually saw pieces of machinery, heavy pieces of machinery, loading up those dump trucks and hauling that snow out. And we know that there is a lot of snow to get rid of. I want to bring in Sean Crotty, who is the emergency services manager in the town of Hamburg. Sean, good morning to you. Glad you're with us. Thank you so much for your hard work overnight. A lot of people joining us from the South Towns this morning. And by the way, we should mention, if you're watching on Channel 7, we are interrupting a repeat of Kelly and Mark so that we can get you the information that you need. Grab your phone, join the conversation. If you've got a question and you live in the South Towns or you're heading through the South Towns today, now's the time to weigh in. So, Sean, give us an idea of what the roads look like in Hamburg.
Well, good morning. Thanks for having me. Right now, our main roads, the roads such as Route 20 and Route 5, those main corridors, they're in good shape. The residential areas are a little more dicey. We continue to get snow overnight, like many of the people in that really concentrated lake effect snow band. So the northern part of our town did receive some additional snowfall overnight while our crews were out working. So overnight hours, we had 6 plows on the road, along with 8 high lifts getting into the residential areas. And, they made some good headway, but right now we have 11 plows on the road with those same 8 high lifts. So we're starting to make some good progress, getting it. We have access gain to the residential areas, but we want to get in there and obviously push back the snow and make it opened up 2-lane widths wide. So.
All right, Sean, today is a day where some 70,000 or so fans could be coming to the area or through the area. Is there anything you'd want people to know as they're making their way to the stadium today? Do they need to know any particular changes to roads? Do you want them to be on watch for anything in particular?
So we communicate with our partners, with Orchard Park Police, the sheriffs, the Bills, all of our partners in that, hosting that game event, which is pretty much across the street from our town. But a lot of the motorists do come through Hamburg. So I know that there's some communication saying don't get there too early. but also get there early because
Right.
the parking is going to be at a premium, I think. Giving them some extra time to get the snow cleared, but also not getting there too early. And I know Buffalo, we like to party. So I know that there's some people out there already tailgating. They're much hardier than I am, but so just, have patience. They're out there, they're working, and especially in the neighborhoods, just give our plow operators some room to work, because that's working long hours, and they've been working long hours, and they're trying to carve around some parked vehicles and abandoned vehicles. So just give them a little extra time and patience.
For those of you who are watching on Channel 7, the active radar box is up kind of over Sean, and you can actually track where that lake effect band is right now. And it looks like it's heaviest, Sean, over the South Towns right now. So let me ask you the question that everyone is wondering. When can I expect my street to be plowed? And a lot of people are wondering that for the residentials, really, that they want to get out there. When can they expect that to be done?
Absolutely. So I just finished up a call with our foreman from the highway department in the town. Like I said, we have 11 plows in the road. We have 8 high lifts that are working through residential areas. There are some residential areas that, had gotten less snow, let's say. That lake effect set up over Lakeview and then a northern part of town as well. Yesterday, I posted a video when I was picking up some operational staff where the snowfall rates were 5 to 6 inches an hour. And it was,
wow.
I mean, I've driven in some bad, sketchy weather, and that was probably one of the worst that I've driven in. And so those concentrated areas, they saw 6 inches of snowfall in an hour. And if it was hard for me to see driving my truck, it's hard for those plow drivers to see. And then throw into that, the people that are out just driving around, checking things out, that it really compounded their efforts. So at one point in time, we pulled plows off the road for their safety, for residents' safety, so that they could see, because they need to see where they're plowing, and that wasn't possible yesterday. So in the town of Hamburg, there's 12 plow routes. Each plow route takes, for an average snowfall, approximately 4 to 5 hours to run through. So that's just your regular Sunday, not storm related snowfall. So 4 hours for that plow route to get finished. So yesterday, because of the long hours, so we had 6 plow routes. So on that equation, we're looking at 8 hours for that snowfall or the snowplow to pass through those routes. With pulling the plows out of the road for a period of time because of the extreme snowfall rates, it put them a little bit further behind. So now we have those 12 routes getting serviced by 11 plows and 8 high lifts. So they're making headway, in communication with our highway superintendent and the working foreman today. Yep, there's the video there. Southwestern Boulevard, just west of, approximately 2 miles.
So, Sean, while we have you with us, Grace wondering, do you think they'll be ready for the game? I mean, and obviously, again, to get to Orchard Park, you got to go through Hamburg. What do you make of that?
So we've been working with our partners in the state. The state's been plowing 10 of our major roads, which are their plows are big enough to be on those roads to make headway, and yet small enough to be on those roads to service. We can't use state DOT plows in residential areas; they're just too big. So we have a shared service agreement with the state DOT. That 10 roads they've been maintaining for us since yesterday evening about 8 p.m. and they just concluded that. We have contract high lifts from the county that they're assisting us, as well as our high lifts that we have in the town. And the expectation is that by noon, every subdivision, every residential area in town should be passable with 2 cars at the same time being able to drive down the road. That's what we look at as completely open. The terminology that the highway guys may use, say, hey, we have access, or we punched holes in areas. That's getting one plow width down through, running it through just to make sure we can get emergency vehicles through, or a high lift down, cul-de-sac roadways. Those things all slow down the operations, but they press forward, and they're again, they're working long hours. They're working as best as they can with the manpower, and of course it's cold, and they have mechanical breakdowns, which certainly
Sure.
set them a little bit further behind. It's cold, and they're pushing some pretty also.
Yeah, this
Well,
is winter in Western New York, isn't
no
it?
kidding. And Sean, you know what? I think it's so important too for your guys to know how much they're
Mhm.
appreciated. Judy says, thank all of you folks for doing such a good job. I'm trying to plow and shovel out today. Pray everybody stays safe. And Cindy says, happy winter, keeping that positive vibe. And Lori says, we appreciate the snowplow drivers, EMS employees, firemen, police, all keeping us safe. You know, right now, if you're watching, you're actually seeing the map of Erie County, and it shows you where the travel advisories are in yellow and where that travel ban is in red. So, Sean, while we've still got you, would you mind just reminding people what they need to know if there is a travel advisory in their area? Because it doesn't just mean let's all get on the roads.
Right. It means if this errand can wait until tomorrow, let's wait until tomorrow. Don't have, if it's nothing that's pressing or an urgent matter, sit at home, enjoy it. I see sunshine out my window now in my truck. So enjoy the sunshine, taking that vitamin D, soak it in, have a coffee. And, it's funny because a lot of people call and say, you don't know what it's like being stuck in your house for the weekend with your family. And I'm like, you're right. I don't realize what that's like because I've been at work. And, so many people our dispatchers are ones that, they're fielding all the calls from people that, they don't know who to call. So they'll call 911. And we don't have, the estimated time of restoration for power outages. We don't, we work with our partners and our stakeholders. But when nobody knows who to call, they call 911, and those dispatchers in the town of Hamburg, they definitely were the first responders in so many instances where talking people through, the motorists that were tourists. We talked to somebody from Britain yesterday. I don't know if he was in town. I think he might have been a Steelers fan, but he was. So I sympathize.
Sean, we certainly appreciate you and your hard work. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Sean Crotty, the Emergency Services Manager in the town of Hamburg. Let's talk Cheektowaga this morning and bring in Mark Nowak, who is the Brian Nowak. I'm sorry, Mark Nowak as a viewer. Brian Nowak, who is the supervisor in the town of Cheektowaga. Good morning to you, Supervisor. Glad you're with us. Give us an update that travel ban just lifted.
Good morning. Yeah, our travel ban lifted at 9 a.m. We kept that on a bit longer because the town of Cheektowaga, we're experiencing the snow ban in an unusual manner. And folks that live here are very familiar that the southern portion of our town, Lawson Road, William Street, French Road especially, that area gets hit a lot harder than the north typically. That's what we're dealing with this storm. We've got our mains, our county roads, a lot of our secondaries cleared off. We're still working on clearing side streets. If you go down William Street, for example, to the north, we need to get some work done clearing those out. To the south, we've had plow drivers through. So we're working with the team that we have to finish clearing out those roads, and especially the Lawson Road area, the French Road area. That needs some more work, but our teams are getting to that. The Lawson Road area last night, we had plows go through. I'm hearing that in the southern portion of town, we got between 6 to 12 inches. Near the airport, it was more like a dusting. So, we're not experiencing the storm equally here in Cheektowaga.
Supervisor, can I ask you too? I know that you were recently elected and then taking this position. Can you tell us what this first snowstorm has been like for you in this role?
I was a first responder during the 2022 Christmas blizzard. So in a lot of respects, this one is less daunting. We haven't dealt with the same power outages. We can get fire, police, EMS through the roads, even if we haven't gotten the plowing recently. It's been a lot more manageable in that sense. But my approach so far, being 2 weeks into the job, is, we've got department heads and folks in highway and our various departments that this isn't their first rodeo. So you lean on the experts and the people that have been around for a little while, and you go with their recommendations on a lot of things. And that's what we've done. That's what I've done up to this point.
Supervisor, Aaron was saying after today's storm comes another. And so how do we prepare now for what's ahead, say Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday?
So you see that some of the other municipalities have got shared services going out, or they're bringing in private contractors. We're having those discussions now. I mean, we had to put back our sanitation services because the hardest hit area is our Monday route, and our Tuesday route is William Street. So we've got guys clearing that out now. However, if we're getting hit with snow again on Tuesday, we're going to have to figure out a plan on how to deal with that. And the town apparatus that we have, quite frankly, isn't going to be enough if we get more lake effect going into Tuesday.
So what do you do? So then what's the give and take here?
So historically, we've brought in independent contractors. That's on the table. We've got opportunities to reach out to the county and even the state to see what we can do in terms of shared services. We've got existing agreements in writing, but all of the above is the answer to that. So those discussions are already happening, and we're already thinking about Tuesday and planning for that.
I know you have limited time with us this morning, so I want to make sure, just in case you have a message to the people of Cheektowaga, you're able to get it across. What do you need them to know as you're working to clear up from the storm?
That even though the travel ban has been lifted, we still have a travel advisory. And, folks are intelligent adults. They know if they can get on the road or not. And just to keep that in mind, that there's still a travel advisory. So if you don't have to go out, put back as much as you can until our highway crews here in Cheektowaga get an opportunity to clear everything up. We don't have all the flights going in the airport. Some of the grocery stores are just now starting to open up. The mall's opening up at 11 o'clock or noon today. So it's not like all of our commercial activity is completely open back up. Schools are closed because of the holiday. So travel advisory, please stay home if you can.
I want to make sure that we're addressing Corey's comment here. Corey says he has a street in Cheektowaga on the border of Depew that hasn't been touched since the storm started, with a ton of elderly people there as well. So, Corey, perhaps you can let us know what street this is, and we can relay this to the supervisor. Meantime, you're looking live right now in Cheektowaga at the 90. This is exit 52A right near Williams Street, and you can see that traffic is flowing once again. There had been this ban on the road because all of Erie County was under a tractor-trailer ban and under a travel ban, period. But take a look at the road. What you're seeing is people going a lot slower than they normally would. That's number one. But number two, you can still see how much snow is falling right now and accumulating on the roads. Corey, we're just trying to get an idea of where you are. So let us know and we'll keep you posted. Supervisor.
Yep. Maybe we could just ask you, no matter where Corey is right now, let's say he's on a border street, when can he expect to see a plow passing through his area?
I have not assessed that myself at this point today. I'm going to check in on our Depew routes, the ones that border, and make sure that this is relayed. I think that your previous guest there was talking about how long snow plow routes take, and we've got more than double in our town that he mentioned. So it takes a few hours for us to get through all of that, but I will relay the message that any of our routes bordering the village of Depew, to make sure that we've got crews on them now and really working through all that. But
so Corey, just weighing back in here, Supervisor. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Corey just weighing back in here, saying that he's on Highland Avenue, the part after the airport. So I guess the areas surrounding the airport, there's a lot. There's Amherst,
Right.
There's Depew. So, it takes time, I suppose. But with all those elderly folk, you want to make sure that they're safe.
I'll relay that. And, priority for me and for our guys at Highway is to make sure we have a single cleared lane going through everywhere for fire EMS, just as we were working on during the Christmas blizzard. Unfortunately, the snowfalls this year so far haven't been as bad. But again, we're preparing for Tuesday while we're cleaning up right now.
Supervisor Nowak, we really appreciate you. The willingness to come on the show and take questions from viewers is admirable.
Right. And then to say, I'm going to take that information, I'm going to act on it. We appreciate that.
It means a lot to us. It means a lot to the community. Good luck to you.
Thanks for joining
Certainly
us.
appreciate your time this morning.
Thank you all. Stay safe. Have a good day.
Very good. All right. Should we bring in Aaron again?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we can keep an eye on where exactly this is headed. Come on in, big guy. And maybe we can switch this camera to a 3-shot so we're able to see Aaron. But what we want to talk about, Aaron, is number one, where this snow band is right now. And then let's talk about the snow that's coming for later this week.
Yes, we do have the winter storm watch for tomorrow, Wednesday, and Thursday. We'll get to in 1 second. Let me get you up to where that band is and where it is going. Notice that line on the screen over the last hour or so. That band has been following that line, but notice it is north of the line, about 15 miles to our west. So it is starting to push further northward, that trend will continue. But right now, the snow is coming down here in Buffalo, especially in West Seneca. We have snow from Buffalo up toward Kenmore, Tonawanda, Amherst, stretching over toward Clarence. And then in the southern edge of the band, about as far south as Blaisdell, near Orchard Park, getting a little bit of light snow right now. We said that this morning you'd have partly sunny skies with a few snow showers at times through around lunchtime, and that's what we're seeing. But that heavier snow, West Seneca, right by the 9400 area. Whew, the snow is coming down. Big fluffy flakes too, and those snowflakes do accumulate pretty quickly. Let's head back now. You asked about the next few days. I do want to show you the winter storm watch that is posted from Tuesday at 10 a.m. through Thursday at 7 p.m., guys, for Erie, Genesee, and Wyoming counties for another significant lake effect snow event developing late Tuesday, continuing right through Thursday.
All right, Aaron. So we're going to be continuing to be with you both on air and online on our WKBW Facebook page. If you're watching on Channel 7, we invite you to grab your phone, join our conversation on our WKBW Facebook page. We're going to take a quick break on TV, but the stream is going to continue. So if you're watching on TV, we'll be right back. Okay, so if you're watching
if you're here with the
on
stream, we don't go anywhere. We stay right here.
We
got about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, Aaron,
Edward.
can we get Aaron Mason in the booth? I'm sorry. Can we get this video that Adam just sent out? Okay, but I want to go to Adam Campos, who's at the stadium next. But can we also get Adam Francis, our our assignment manager, just sent out some video. I'm wondering if we can get that in as well. It's from the stadium that I think would be pretty cool to show. It's in our email, if that helps. But I think
from the Bills.
Well, it's from the AP. It's
I was gonna say maybe we can find it. Just
pretty cool.
I've got the
Bills also tweeted a really great picture if we want to pull that
beautiful view right there. But also I saw some pictures of the snow in the stands, and it is going to be a real tough task to get that
Sounds
clear.
good.
So we're gonna show this right off the bat, and then we'll go to Adam.
Do you want storm totals or do you want the Bills forecast up?
I think we're gonna go to Adam, and then probably the Bills forecast.
Let's do that.
So after Adam?
Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay. 3-shot or 2?
Okay, we've got about a minute until we come back on
That's my
TV.
cue to leave when you go to a 2-shot. I get the hint.
Later.
Karen says that her street hasn't been plowed either. She lives on Proctor. So, okay, keep those comments coming and let us know exactly where you are and what the conditions look like where you are, because what we can do is then take that from here and bring that into our newsroom and let the folks there know where to send crews to say, okay, this street needs to be plowed or that street needs to be plowed. So we see this comment from Beth. Minnesota hasn't been plowed since the first day of the storm.
Somebody else mentioned, Anna was mentioned their street in Amherst always plowed early. So she was thankful for that. Okay, yep. So let us know if there's some places we should be focusing on. All right, stand by. We're going to bring back in our television viewers. Hi, good morning, everybody. It is 9:21 on the start of your Monday, a holiday for so many people. We're glad to have you with us. We are interrupting Kelly and Ryan this morning. It's a repeat show, but we're glad to be here live with you so we can let you know exactly what's been going on as we've been tracking this weather across Western New York, specifically at Highmark Stadium, where things have really changed in the past few hours.
Okay, so yesterday we showed you how it was a complete whiteout. Look at the conditions there. A hopeful sunrise over Highmark Stadium because it's Bills Steelers wild card here at Highmark Stadium, 4:30 this afternoon. And we know that the Bills are going to beat the Steelers, bar none. Adam Campos there live for us this morning. Adam, good morning to you. What are the conditions there like?
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning to our cuppies and everybody else that is joining. It's game day. Those are my favorite words. Those are everybody's favorite words in sports. And thank goodness we have these conditions for the game today. Granted, we have the snow, but in terms of the sky and what we're seeing, this is so much better than what we had yesterday. I was out here at Highmark Stadium all morning and all throughout the afternoon, actually, not by choice for some of it, because of how bad the conditions were. And you see all the snow that's piled up right now. Right now, as I'm just walking by this little bump right here, I don't know if there's anything underneath it or what, but I'm seeing it at eye level. So that just shows you how much snow piled up here at Highmark Stadium yesterday. And like I said, when we were covering everything and we were getting ready to come back up to downtown Buffalo, that's when the band hit us, and it was a complete whiteout all throughout the stadium. You see the Highmark Stadium sign back there. From where the point we are at now, we could not see that sign yesterday because of how bad the wind was pushing in all of the snow. And crews have been out here working all morning, all night long as well to try to clear this out. And there's still a lot of work to do, especially when it comes to clearing out the lots. The lots are going to open up at 12:30. And because we're seeing this much snow on the ground, the Bills are telling everybody to try to commute out here if you can, or to carpool out here. If you can get into a carpool and you don't have to drive, that's going to make it easier on the flow of traffic. And then when it comes to what's happening in the stadium right now, the Bills are still looking for people to come shovel, and you can see a few people are walking in right now to try to get in to help them out. But they said right now, when I talked to a few shovelers that just came out about 20 minutes ago, they told me there's still a lot of work to be done. They're not really touching the bottom bowl right now. So it might look like if you're going to be going to the game, whether you're going to be inside in a booth or anything like that, if you're going to be at the game, you're probably going to be standing for a lot of the game because the snow is just packed inside Highmark.
All right. Our Adam Campos live at Highmark Stadium for us this morning because we know so many people, like we said, off today, and they're just getting ready to go to the game.
So let's get you caught up when it comes to the forecast. What do we need to know? Aaron Minkowski is here with us, tracking it all. All right, Big Dog, let us have it.
All right, who's going to sit tonight anyway during the game? So that's okay. Here is your forecast for this afternoon, starting around noontime. I know a lot of you want to get there early, find a place to park. You have a cold breeze, partly sunny skies, still a few flurries flying around. We're seeing that right now. The sun peeking through the clouds and a little snow coming down. Cold breeze, below zero wind chills around noontime. By 4 p.m., partly sunny, winds southwesterly 10 to 15 miles per hour, mostly cloudy and cold for the game, with temperatures right around 12 toward the fourth quarter. So the snow will be north of Orchard Park this afternoon and into this evening. It's going to be cold, so bundle up and go Bills. We'll have more for you after the break.
Okay, so if you're watching on the stream, we're still here with you. Glad to be part of your morning. We have a whole nother half hour of a special edition of Second Cup coming up here. So you're looking at what this is the warnings and alerts. Aaron, what do we need to know here?
Okay, so the winter storm warning has been extended through 1 p.m. for northern Erie County for that snow coming down right now. And I was just looking at the 90 by West Seneca. Big fluffy flakes coming down, and cars are going very, very slowly. If you're in the band, you are seeing a fair amount of snowfall. Out of the band, partly sunny skies. Then we fast forward to tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday. Winter storm watch is posted from 10 a.m. on Tuesday through 7 p.m. on Thursday for another lake effect snow event, which could mean several more inches of snowfall on top of the snow we already have, combined with some gusty winds. So Wednesday and Thursday, in these watch areas, kids could be out of school. So parents have a plan. If you have to go to work, but your kids are home, be prepared. Wednesday and Thursday, we could have some school closures, and we'll talk about that too live coming up in just a few minutes on air on the TV. But I do want to let our folks who are watching on Facebook know, certainly have a plan for Wednesday and Thursday morning.
Okay,
Right,
so all things considered, your kids go back to school tomorrow and they could have another day off on Wednesday.
Yeah, you know, and you know what, that's the hardest thing for parents, but at least we've got this little bit of a heads up for you, because if you can plan ahead and it's not a spur of the moment thing, then maybe you don't have to take off work. Maybe grandma and grandpa could come. Maybe Ed can come when he's done working, watch the kids for a little while for you.
Rile them up, give
That
them
would
a
be
lot of
awesome.
sugar.
Rile
You know,
them
he's
up and
coming
then
in with
leave 'em
like
for
10
ya.
bits and a 6-pack of Mountain Dew, and like, let's go.
Not even sorry about it.
Your parents are gone. You can have whatever you want.
Okay, so this band is kind of, I love the analogy, how it's like a jump rope.
Yes.
Like it's just very flowy. It's kind of like almost like a flower child, a dress blowing in the hippie wind.
I called this band the Jet Dranch Band yesterday because it can't sit still in one spot. And notice the band across central and southern Erie right now, Erie County, moving toward Buffalo. Notice, if you look at the line I have on the screen, south of that line is where the band has been for the last few hours. But notice out over Lake Erie, the band now starting to push northward. That's what's going to move on shore shortly. And that band will be in Buffalo, the northern suburbs, North Buffalo, Kenmore through the Tonawandas for, a couple more inches of snow. It's light and fluffy snow. Just take your time driving. Roads are fine where the snow is not coming down, but more snow will move in. How much time until we're back?
Probably a minute or so.
Okay.
Aaron Mason, 1 minute. There we
1
go.
minute.
Okay,
Okay.
we just got some information coming in. Oh no, that's not anything storm related. I was going to say from the governor. It has nothing to do with the storm, so never mind.
All right, yeah, we'll pass on that. Then look at that Tonawanda, Kenmore toward Amherst.
You know what? Oh, I'm sorry. There is some actual information.
Oh,
Did we
okay.
see that Feedmore, Western New York is closed today?
Oh.
That's probably a good thing to pass along to people, including regular home delivered meals, only emergency services coming in today. So
Wow.
that could be something that's important. And you know what? They're in that area in Buffalo that's a little bit.
Yeah, they're a little bit, they're South Buffalo
yeah,
right there. I've
so-
been there. And
We'll
that's
pass it along when we get back on air too.
That's a tough spot. And here's the heaviest snow right now by the 90, between the 219 and the 400. Visibility is greatly reduced. And I was looking at the traffic cameras there on the NITEC, and it is crawling along. But Orchard Park by the stadium, you're on the southern fringe of the band again, getting clipped with a few more flurries and also a little sunshine. But be prepared to stand. A lot of people bring cardboard to stand on to keep your feet warm. I would do that today.
Okay, we're going to join in our TV viewers, so stand by for us in just 10 seconds.
Cardboard's not going to cut it.
Okay, got the warnings and watches ready.
Good morning to you. It's 9:30 on the start of a Monday morning. Glad you're with us. We're interrupting Kelly and Mark this morning. It's a repeat show. You probably didn't want to watch it anyway. I'm just kidding. Here we are. We are joining you to get you the information that you actually need this
Frankly,
morning.
Ed, with you in that sweater, they probably thought they were watching me.
My arms are as big as Mark Consuelos' arms.
didn't
No,
like-
You wish,
Am
my
I working
friend.
with Mark Consuelos today, or is it Ed Durant?
And I
Oh, my
look just
goodness.
like Kelly in my dreams.
Okay, but let's get you caught up on everything that you need to know. As of 9 o'clock this morning, every single travel ban has been lifted in Erie County, except for the city of Lackawanna. And we're hearing from a lot of people saying that Lackawanna is really bad. So why don't you give us the actual update about what we need to do?
Sure. The winter storm warning, which includes Lackawanna, has been extended now through 1 p.m. as that snow continues to come down off of Lake Erie, impacting Lackawanna. And that's why you still have that travel ban there. But elsewhere, notice it is shaded in yellow, where we have the advisory this morning. So just if you are out on the roads, be careful. So on our weather computer, the winter storm warning, like I said, in effect until 1 p.m. for northern Erie County. Go ahead, Edward.
I was going to say, maybe you can actually zoom into Lackawanna for us, is what Denise is wondering.
I'm coming. That map is next. Winter storm watch in effect Tuesday morning through Thursday at 7 p.m. for Erie, Genesee, and Wyoming counties for another round of lake effect snow, which will be heavy again. So have a plan for the kids Wednesday morning and Thursday morning in these areas where schools could be delayed or canceled. Want to give you the heads up right now. That's a look at the radar. Notice that band. The heaviest snow just in South Buffalo toward West Seneca and Lackawanna right now. That band in the next half hour or so will start to push northward back into North Buffalo, Kenmore, the Tonawandas, Amherst, Cheektowaga. You'll start to see the intensity pick up a bit. It's light, fluffy snow, and the winds aren't that strong, but the snow is coming down. There we go. As I'm zooming in toward Lackawanna, you're in that dark blue shade with a snowfall rate of about 1 to 2 inches per hour. The heaviest snow is closer to the Lake Erie shoreline. The southern edge of the snow right now, near Blaisdell, over toward Orchard Park, mostly north of 20A. But at the stadium right now, we do have a little more light snow, but it's going to be in and out very, very quickly as that band continues to move northward. And a closer look, West Seneca, on the 90, between the 219 and the 400. The snow is coming down at a pretty good clip and up into South Buffalo and Lackawanna.
And as this moves, we're talking more inches of snow. You were saying a few more inches of snow, at least in the city of Buffalo.
Yeah, about 3 to 6 more inches of snow in Buffalo, especially South Buffalo. But as we're watching that band start to shift northward, and then that warning runs through 1 p.m. Later today, the band is over Niagara County, and it kind of fizzles out.
Aaron, I'm going to make a request. Can you go street level for us in Lackawanna? I think that would help a lot of people here to actually understand how bad the snow is. Shannon, wondering about people driving through Lackawanna for the game.
That's a good question.
Right, because frankly, you have to get through Lackawanna if you're taking Route 5 to get to Hamburg.
And your answer might be Route 5 is not what you're taking today.
Right, so you might have to go around, take the 90, the 219. Any of those places in Lackawanna are going to be closed for you until further notice.
Right. Now, again, the game's not until 4:30, right? It was so funny when we were talking to the emergency services coordinator from Hamburg, who was saying, get there early, but don't get there early because, there's so many things to consider here. Yeah, you don't want to be just walking right into this game because you got to find a place to park. There's a lot of factors here. But you also don't want to get there too early because it's 9:30 right now. Maybe by noon or something, they make some changes in Lackawanna, and then that would change your
Yeah,
plans.
so the darker blue right there, that's the heavier snow that's coming down at Botanical Drive. So by the Botanical Gardens, by the Basilica. You're dealing with the heavy snow, Center Street, Ridge Road. It's going to be like this for another hour or so before the band finally starts to push northward and this heavier snow starts to subside in Lackawanna. But that warning is in effect until 1 p.m. for northern Erie County, which does include Lackawanna.
Lori, we're glad that you're with us as well. Yeah, we're just trying to get you the information that you need. And I'm really just joking about not wanting to watch Kelly and Mark. I know a lot of people do.
Yeah, we actually like the show. John, by the way, will my grandson be able to go back to college in Rochester today? That's a good question because there's a lot of Western New Yorkers, Aaron, who travel the thruway down to Rochester.
You know what? I was looking at the cameras near Batavia and Victor, and no problems. They're partly sunny skies right now. I don't know where Don's grandson is leaving from, but once he gets onto the thruway going eastward right now, it is fine.
Kyla, glad you're with us as well. Right now we're looking live at the 219 between the 90 and Mile Strip Road, a little bit further south in the Hamburg Orchard Park area.
If we go to the 90 between by the 400, you'll be able to really see the snow coming down.
So you can see that the roads are okay, they're passable, and that's kind of the goal, and that was the point of the travel ban. But Kyla, I want to address your comment here, and I think it's important that we take your comment here and we highlight your voice. Lackawanna always gets hit hardest, she says, and never gets any state help to clean out. Still this morning, there is a travel ban in place for the city of Lackawanna, and a lot of these people are wondering where the plows are. I tried getting a hold of somebody from the Lackawanna Police Department to no avail. I tried to call them and say, okay, hey, what's going on? Speak to their higher ups. And as you can imagine, they're all out on the roads trying to make sure that everyone is protected. So we don't really have any actual information to pass along to you from Cheektowaga, only that that ban is still in place. Oh, I'm sorry, what did I say?
Cheektowaga,
Okay,
it's
yeah,
okay. You know what? We've been talking about towns throughout the morning. I do also want to point out who was the one who talked about power? Here, was it Lisa? So thankful. Not many power outages like the 2022 blizzard. Yeah. Can we also just say, yeah, that is a really great point. At the height of the storm yesterday, I mean, we had fewer than maybe 100 or so power outages between National Grid and NYSEG. And we were so worried about that because we had that windstorm earlier.
We had winds over 65 miles per hour yesterday too. So, and I know in my backyard, there were a ton of branches down and some small trees came down too. But no, like the power outages were limited. Ours flickered and we lost it for, briefly, but wow, I was really surprised, pleasantly surprised. Everywhere I went, though, it seemed that I saw power, the trucks, the lift trucks on different corners, just ready to get into action.
Well, and so this is government being proactive here, and it's really in response to what we saw in the 2022 Christmas storm. They don't want to be criticized like they were from the outside agencies, from people who live in the community, and the media as well. So they really were pulling out all the punches here. I was looking at some of the comments here. Elise wondering, is the Skyway open? In fact, the Skyway is. There is no travel ban for any of the throughways, the highways, or any of the local roads except in the city of Lackawanna. And then you're looking live here at the 400 at Union Road. This is kind of those areas that you were talking about.
Yeah, that's where the heaviest snow. Notice the big fluffy flakes coming down right now, but the winds are not as strong as they were yesterday. So the band does not get too far inland. It's not being pushed by the winds too far inland. It makes its way toward Clarence into northeastern Erie County with some light snow. But that's about it. Now, yesterday, that band was way past Batavia, but not the case today because the winds are much lighter. And the winds will subside as the day moves along. So we have the steadier snows that'll head toward Tonawanda and Amherst later this morning. But right now, that band, and notice it's right over Lackawanna and Blaisdell. We take you a little bit closer, West Seneca, Lackawanna, along the 190 over toward the 90 and back toward the 400. That's where that center is. And you'll be like that for the next hour or so before we finally start to see that shift further northward.
Okay, important. Holly's saying, I watched a plow contractor get stuck, and when he got free, he left. He was trying to clear a small plaza parking lot. It's not safe to go out just to drive. And again, Holly, great point, because again, that travel advisory is in place for so many areas. It's not just go drive, right? Only that travel ban in Lackawanna, but the advisory doesn't mean go do whatever you want. It means don't go if you don't have to.
Mary is just kind of echoing my point here exactly. She says 100% city doing better this winter after learning from last year blizzard. Definitely shows our city learned. And despite the fact that almost 50 people died in that storm, the fact is no one died in this one.
No, and it would have been a different story had the game gone on yesterday. We saw the video of the whiteouts over Orchard Park. And they absolutely, with that weather that we had yesterday, the forecast was spot on, and the blizzard-like conditions over Orchard Park all day yesterday, especially between 1 and 4 p.m. when that game would have been going on, and you would have had to get 70,000 people out of Orchard Park yesterday. It never would have happened. We would still be in live coverage talking about the people stuck trying to leave the game yesterday, getting stuck and frozen in their cars. So that was the view yesterday. And then right now, things are improving in Orchard Park, but still the snow coming down, but not as intensely as it was yesterday across the area.
Okay, a couple of questions that people had here. Shauna was wondering if there was still the empty tractor trailer ban on the 90. So the 90 is open, and the last information we had from the State Thruway Authority is that they lifted the commercial vehicle ban. That was 2 hours ago. They said they lifted it on the thruway system. So nothing about empty tractor trailers.
All those bans have been lifted.
So it seems like it's totally fine to go.
They did that for the winds because they easily get toppled over. We saw a lot of them get knocked over, but the winds are not as big of an issue today. They're 10 to 20 miles per hour, some higher gusts. So wind chills this morning, guys, are below zero. So hey, if you're like, hey kids, you've been cooped up for the last couple of days, get out there, play in the snow. Just make sure everyone's bundled up because we have wind chills below zero right now.
Let me ask you this, and this is really what's going to happen later today. A lot of people coming in from Pennsylvania to go to the Bills game. Yeah. So they're going to be driving through snow. Paul is saying my family's headed to the game from Batavia. Okay, so let's talk.
Okay.
What are we going to see?
They're going to run into some light snow near Clarence, and then they'll come down, run into some light snow through Cheektowaga. If they're by the time they leave later this afternoon, most of the snow will be out of the metro area. So that's some good news. But right now, if you're coming in from Batavia, you'll hit a little light snow in Clarence, and then some heavier snows on the 90 as you make your way toward the stadium. But don't come yet. They need some more time to clear out. They're doing a great job. We're seeing some videos of it, but maybe you have your favorite lot that you like to go to, and that could be tricky. There's a view right now of the 90 at Ridge Road. Thanks for putting that one up, because that gives you a great sense of what it's like in the core of the band. So that's where the heaviest snows are coming down. Snowfall rate's about 1 to 2 inches per hour, but the snow is really almost coming straight down, which is good news.
And that actually helps answer Barbara's question here. Barbara asking, can we travel on the 90 through Lacana, or is that also banned? Yes, you can, and you're taking a look at what the 90 at Ridge Road looks like right now, although it's not going to be an easy travel.
Okay, if you're watching on TV, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to continue our Facebook live stream. We would love for you to continue joining us. Grab your phone, be part of the conversation, and on TV, we'll be right back. Okay, so Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz, for those of you who are watching on the live stream, just tweeted out some important information for us about game day. Maybe we could take this before we go to Adam.
Aaron Mason, while we're in break too, could you talk one more time? Because I was losing you on IFB. Got you so much better now. Thank you.
So the county executive says parking lots don't open until 12:30. Of course, those are only the Bills lots. Main roads are good, but exercise caution while driving due to cleanup still ongoing. Gates open at 2:30. Many seats and bleachers will be snow covered. He says, dress warmly, it'll be cold. Now, I also just spoke with Bill Geary, who is Erie County's Department of Public Works Commissioner. Great guy, super helpful, very communicative, which is really what you need in this kind of a situation.
Yeah, 'cause sometimes you'll find the leaders hiding under their desks, but not him. He does a great job. Yeah.
So I asked specifically about Lackawanna, and I'm going to bring this up on TV once we kind of rejoin from break. He's saying that the Lackawanna mains and secondaries are in good shape, but there are some smaller dead end and side streets that actually have to be scooped and loaded out. So, consider those really narrow streets where the plows can't fit through.
Well, hopefully hearing that the mains and secondaries are opening up at least might help people.
Well, I don't know that they're opening up.
No, I know, but I mean,
they're in good shape.
Right.
Yeah.
Opening up from snowfall. Right. Yeah. Obviously, there's still a travel ban there. But what I'm thinking is, maybe that eases the potential a little bit for them to be able to do something as we get closer to the game.
Well, and so let me continue here. So he says the Lackawanna DPW and contractors are working there. They got some more snow overnight. Same in West Seneca and Blaisdell, Hamburg areas. He said this should not impact game days. And I said, okay, well, it sounds like a lot of people are just being stuck or getting stuck. He said that they've got tows pulling people out right now. So despite this travel ban, people are still out on the road in Lackawanna, but keep that in the back of your mind. that if you're heading out in Lackawanna, you run the risk of then getting stuck, which causes even more problems on the road.
I'll put the radar right over Lackawanna.
Oh, perfect.
Carolyn, by the way, really quick, I wanted you to know that we did see your comment. And I just wanted to let you know that we spoke with leaders in Cheektowaga who mentioned that Lawson Road is one of the hardest hit, so they're still working on it.
Okay, we're going to rejoin on TV.
Okay.
Okay, welcome back. It's 9:43 on the start of a Monday morning. Glad you're with us for a special edition of Second Cup. We're keeping you updated in a really conversational, casual way about what's happening in your community as that snow continues to fall around Western New York, and so many people are heading out now for the first time after that travel ban has been lifted. I did just want to give you an update about Lackawanna in particular, because we're hearing a lot of people are not seeing plows. They're not really getting much information, but I want to make sure that we're passing what I have along to you.
And that's the one place where that travel ban remains in effect.
So I just spoke with Bill Geary, who is the commissioner of the Department of Public Works for Erie County. He's telling me Lackawanna mains and secondaries are in good shape right now. That doesn't mean go out and drive, because there's still that travel ban in effect. He says there are smaller dead-end streets and side streets that get scooped up and loaded out. So in other words, the plows are too big to fit down those smaller streets. So they're sending that equipment in to haul it out. You're looking at a video now from Lackawanna from earlier this morning.
They got a lot of snow.
Lackawanna DPW and contractors working there. They got more snow overnight. Same in West Seneca, Blaisdell, Hamburg areas. He's saying that this should not impact game day. Here's the other thing. He's saying that people are being pulled out now by tow trucks because they violated the travel ban and are getting stuck. That causes more problems for crews, and frankly, it puts yourself at danger.
So let's stay where we are right now, because the travel advisory is in effect all around Lackawanna. The travel ban is in effect in Lackawanna. And realistically, we've got this Bills game at 4:30 this morning, and a lot of people would, in theory, drive through Lackawanna. So obviously there's a travel ban right now, but let's let these crews do the work that they have to do. So we'll be able to see if something might change as the afternoon moves along. Now, Ed had just mentioned that Mark Polencars tweeted out some information for people going to the game. The parking lots for the stadium don't open until 12:30.
Right.
Of course, we know that doesn't stop
A lot of people
from
like to
getting
get there a little earlier.
That doesn't stop people from getting there
People
earlier.
tailgating right now. Yeah.
He was saying the main roads are good, but exercise caution. Gates opening at 2:30, and also saying the seats, the bleachers going to be snow covered, dress warmly. People are saying, okay, bring their cardboard. Someone else mentioned in our message here, Connie, whoever's going to the game, take a tarp, put it on the seats in case there's still snow. Then your outer pants won't be wet if you sit down.
You're going to be standing the whole time anyway,
Right,
cheering
exactly.
on the Bills.
Our 7 News reporter, Adam Campos, is live for us at Highmark Stadium this morning. We are just hours away from kickoff, but Adam, still this morning, the stands are full of snow.
Hey, good morning, you guys. Yeah, the stands are filled with snow. I've talked to a few shovelers already, and they've told me that the seats are pretty covered up, and they still got a lot of work to do before game time. One even told me, and he said, for Bills fans, if you're coming to the game, don't be surprised if you have to stand during the entire game. Unless you're okay with sitting on snow, which I don't know if I would be personally, but that's what they told me. And I actually have somebody here right now that is actually going in to shovel. This is Christine. She's from Orchard Park. So I appreciate you stopping to just talk with us real quick. Just tell me real quick, what brought you out here? It's 11 degrees. You could be at home relaxing. You're out here helping to shovel. Tell me about it.
Well, I heard on the radio this morning on breakfast that they were still looking for some shovelers. I was going to do it last night, but I was pretty sore from doing my own driveway, so I figured I'd get a night's rest. And I called. So I thought they wouldn't need anybody. I was just going to give up on it, but then I heard on the radio that they still need people, so I'm like, okay, that's my call. I'm going to go help out the Bills and the fans.
And just talk about it. With the 11 degrees and everything that's just kind of been happening. I said, like you were telling me earlier about the driveway, your driveway, it's piled up with snow right now, so you had to get out yourself, and now you're here to help out. I mean, is this just for the pure love of the Bills to come do this?
Absolutely. Go Bills.
I love it. And I mean, how long do you plan on staying? Are you going to be here for a while, try to do what you can to help out?
I will stay up until the game starts, if that's all that long. That's what I was planning on anyways.
I love the
Hey, Adam,
dedication of Bills fans.
it's a little bit hard to hear. If you have a microphone on, can you put it in front of your guest's mouth so that we can actually hear what she's saying?
Okay, I have my AirPods, so that's the only thing that I can really use as of right now. So that's
okay.
tough. But she just told me, like I said, I asked her, is this out of the pure love for the Bills? And she said absolutely, go Bills. That's why she is out here. I mean, it's pretty cool to see. I even asked you too. I asked a few other people. I asked them, money or not, would you have been out here to do this?
Yes.
There you go.
Wow.
That's pure love for this
That's
team. And it's really cool
dedication.
to see.
Gotta love it. Adam Campos live for us at Highmark Stadium. Adam, we appreciate you. If you're watching on TV, we're going to take another quick break, but that stream continues on Facebook Live. So if you're watching on TV, BRB. Okay, so the stream continues here on Facebook Live.
You know what? And then we'll check in with Aaron again because I see
Okay.
a couple of questions
Well,
for
rather
him.
Alrighty.
Boy, can you believe how sunny it is there now?
No,
Every
I
time
mean,
we go
it
to
is
that
a-
picture, I'm like,
crazy.
you got to be kidding me.
Snow, but they're right on the southern edge right there, and that's going to be like that through this morning. But as long as that band keeps pulling north of Orchard Park, by the time the game comes on, it's not going to be snowing, but it is going to be cold. And I'm sure the first touchdown, you're going to see the snow flying up in the air from the fans
No
throwing it
kidding.
up there. Don't throw snowballs, though.
You know what?
That's
I was
super dangerous.
yesterday. I got home after we did the show yesterday morning, and I'm sure, like so many of you, I was looking outside, watching out my window because I was, it's kind of like very comforting to be inside watching the snowfall, and I was
Yep.
outside watching dogs run around on Bidwell
Oh.
Park.
So cute.
Come in,
Hi.
Aaron Mason.
Welcome. Oh,
Yes,
thank you.
9:15.
And one of the dogs was loving it. The owner was just spraying him with the snow, and
How
he
about
was
the other one?
well, he was trying to catch the snow. It was the cutest thing I've ever
That's
seen.
funny.
The other one was just kind of hanging
Is
there.
your dog into the snow?
No.
Can you even see her when she goes out
She,
there? I
like,
would have to pat her a little area.
Hops.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
so she's trying to figure it all out.
She's so
Her poor little paws get really stuck.
And she's had a tough,
Yeah.
stretch.
She's a little
So-
rescue, and she's like
Yeah.
this big. I mean, my dog's rescue, but he's
Does your dog like the snow?
no.
Really?
We've made him soft. Paul says. Paul says we made him
I am totally
and
with Paul
when
on
I
that
say
one.
Paul says we, he means me. I made him soft.
That monster dog of yours doesn't like.
He's a big guy.
I put jackets on him, and he does his thing, and then he runs. to
Didn't
the
I
door.
buy a sweater for your dog for Christmas?
That doesn't
didn't help.
fit him anymore.
Oh, it doesn't fit him anymore.
Okay, we're gonna join back in with our viewers on TV. So stand by for us here.
I got the Bills forecast.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Here we are at 9:50 on your Monday morning. Glad to have you with us for this special edition of Second Cup. Of course, we're keeping an eye on the forecast for you. Of course, we know we've got this big Bills game today at Highmark Stadium. We're going to get to the forecast there. I do want to, though, let people know if you're, by the way, just joining us on TV, you can go to our Facebook page and put in some comments there. We've got a lot of people, Ed, who are asking about the Sabres game this afternoon, and we know it's at noon in downtown Buffalo. They want to know the forecast for that, Aaron.
Okay, it's cold here in downtown Buffalo right now. So temperatures as you go into the Sabres game be around 12 degrees. That lake effect snow band will be over downtown Buffalo, so over KeyBank Center. It's not windy though, so that's some good news, but you will be walking into KeyBank with some snow coming down. The heavier snow will be before the game. Then while you're in the game, the snow showers will taper off. Cloudy skies after the game with temperatures in the upper teens. So it's going to be a slow go as you make your way into downtown Buffalo. But outside of the band, no problems. Derby, 41 inches of snow. Orchard Park, of course, 17 inches. And if you are going to the game later today, you have a cold breeze around noontime. If you want to get there early to find a place to park, wind chills below zero. And then partly sunny this afternoon. It's cold with temperatures in the low teens. Winds will diminish, though, as we get into the game.
When does the snow stop?
Well, this warning runs through 1 p.m. The snow will stop in Buffalo around 12 or 1. So, yeah, we've got a couple more hours to deal with it. And then we catch our breath. That snow will fizzle out. And then we get ready for the next round. Winter Storm Watch posted. And I can hear the grumblings all across Western New York right now.
And for me, right
Yeah,
next to you.
I heard you. That's where I got the idea. 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. 10 a.m. Tuesday to 7 p.m. on Thursday. So parents, this storm is going to hit during the school week. Have a plan. School could be delayed or canceled Wednesday and or Thursday for areas in the watch box there. So heads up, be prepared for some more snow. And then we have this band right there. Oh, when does the snow stop? May. I like that, Paula. That was funny.
And true.
Yeah, there's the band starting to inch northward. So that's an encouraging sign. So the hardest hit areas can finally really start to dig out. Starting to get some more snow in Buffalo, up toward Amherst and Clarence, Cheektowaga. Blaisdell, Orchard Park, notice the band pushing away with partly sunny skies right there. And then we're going to go to Lacana, still picking up the heaviest snow in the band along Ridge Road, Tiff Street, Abbott, by the Botanical Gardens and the Basilica. We have a snowfall rate of about 2 inches per hour.
So we're getting some information in from the city of Buffalo this morning, as we now heard from Aaron. The snow likely to stop around 1, 2 o'clock or so in the city of Buffalo.
Yeah, you're going to have some moderate snow move into Buffalo from around 10 to noon time. So if you are coming to the Sabres game, heads up. Travel outside of that band, really not an issue. But you get downtown, snow will be coming down, and wind chills are close to 0. So heads up.
So I just want to give you the information that we got now. There are a number of city warming shelters closing this afternoon at noon. However, there will still be 3 that are staying open if you lose your power or if you lose your heat or you get stuck and you need some place to go.
Okay.
Delavan Grider Community Center is staying open. The Peter Machinka, I think it's called, Community Center on Clinton Street is staying open, and the Tosh Collins Community Center on Cazenovia Street are staying open. All of the others are closing. So just keep that in the back of your mind, and we'll put this information for you on WKBW.com.
And Jason, we did see your question about Springville. I want to get to that in 1 second, but I do also just want to let you know, in case you get services or someone you know uses Feed More Western New York, Feed More Western New York closed today for general operations. That does include regular home delivered meal services. They're only doing emergency services today. So keep that in mind if maybe you or someone you know is impacted. Let's answer Jason's question about Springville.
Okay, so tomorrow morning, we're all going to have snow, about 1 to 3 inches of snow as you head out the door tomorrow morning. That is a general snow. That's for everyone. That's going to be during the morning commute. So a lot of us going back to work and school on Tuesday expect a slow, snowy start to the day. We get toward late Tuesday into Wednesday, we'll have that lake effect band fire up. Jason, I think the band shifts further southward late Wednesday into Thursday, so Springville will get some snow. It looks like the heavier snows will be near the metro area Tuesday into Wednesday. This band will do what the last band did, kind of oscillate across the area.
So, Bob, I wanted to address your comment here, too. I think we should have a second cup marathon. Stay on till game time. You guys are great entertainment. We appreciate you. Let me also tell you
I'm
this.
so hungry, though. I couldn't do it.
I have to go to the bathroom, to be honest. 11:30, we're going to have a special Leading the Charge with Matt Beauvais. So make sure that if you are a Bills fan and you're so excited about the game, check in with Beauvais at 11:30. But here's the video I mentioned a little bit earlier. This is Charlie. There he is,
Charlie.
sliding down the chute.
17 years old.
Having a great time. I just spoke
He made Good Morning America, too.
Yeah, I just spoke to one of his relatives.
She was joining us live on Second Cup,
so
too.
It's her sister's son.
Oh, my gosh.
So
her nephew.
Right, exactly.
Welcome to
thank you,
Western
the
New
family
York.
tree. So Lynn is having her sister wake Charlie up so he can get in touch with us. So that'll be super
Charlie's
cool.
got to be tired, though. He was working all day yesterday,
Yeah, right?
shoveling snow.
And you know what? People are still there shoveling snow this morning. They were saying there's a chance. Erie County Executive Mark Poloncar said your seat might be snow covered. So
yeah,
just be prepared. You might have to brush it off and then
Be
maybe
standing the whole game.
need something to stand
One of
on.
the things we invested in for Bills games are these foam cushions. And it's not like foam, it's more like, I don't know what kind of material it is, but it heats up when you sit on it. So
really,
yeah.
Oh.
So it's really cool. And don't forget that you can bring in battery-operated clothing to Highmark Stadium. Just remember to take that battery out as you're passing through security. That's going to be your game changer this year. It's new this year, and that's going to keep you warm.
And I want to show you, too, the radar near Orchard Park. Notice the last half hour, the band starting to inch northward. We kind of got a little more into the meteorology of it all earlier in the show, but notice the band pushing northward, and it's going to be rolling now through Buffalo between around 10 a.m. and noontime before it exits and continues its northward movement. But Orchard Park, nothing significant is going to fall for the rest of the day. Partly sunny skies. It's cold there, though, but the winds will be diminishing later today, so that's some good news. Unfortunately for Lackawanna, you still have some moderate to heavy snow. However, it's moving northward. Next hour or so, that snow ban should really start to let up for you folks. You've been under the gun, and you still have that travel ban, driving ban in place. But there's the band right now, and notice it's starting to push a little further northward.
From bands to bands. Annette, good morning. Glad you're with us. Just tuning in. All of the snow bans have been lifted except for the city of Lackawanna. Everything is open except for the city of Lackawanna right now. There is a travel ban in place there
So
still.
yeah, travel bans, snow banned.
Yeah, the lake effect snow ban is still there, lifting through Buffalo right now. We still have that winter storm warning in effect until 1 p.m. for northern Erie County. We'll get rid of this round 1 of snow later today, and then we catch our breath. Round 2 coming tomorrow through Thursday for another long-lasting, perhaps significant lake effect snow event. But this one hits during the work week and the school week, so we'll be watching as schools could close Wednesday and Thursday. Parents have a plan for that.
More snow on the way.
Thanks so much for being with us. We're back today at noon, and of course, always available online at WKBW.com. Have a great day. Stay safe, everyone.
Go
Go
Bills!
Bills!
Let's go. I'm so hungry.